I'm sure it's good.
I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty. Not sure what's happening here, but bear with me 1 second. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty. Not sure what's happening here. All right, so I think we're live, and I'm supposed to be playing some sponsor stuff, but it is not coming up, so we'll have to move forward. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am Stan Kronke. I am sitting in this afternoon for Omar Stennett, alias Manningsman, because as you know, Manningsman is on national duty with the Jamaica football team. I almost said soccer, actually, which is not a good thing since I grew up talking about football. But welcome. Glad to have you be with us this evening. I think it's always great when you come to watch a game and you're very confident of the outcome. That's a wonderful thing. And I'm sure most, if not all, Jamaica fans pretty confident about today's game. The question everyone is asking themselves is, what will the score be? So I'll put up the team because the team is out. As you can see, there are some changes to the lineup from the last game. In fact, all 3 games we haven't had the same lineup. So as you can see here, Blake is not in goal. We have Waite in goal. Amari Bell, who had an injury against the US, will be at left back. Bernard, who started the last game with Lowe, is playing at center back, I'd assume on the right. Mariapa, who sat out the last game, will be at left center back. And Lembakisi, who started the first game, came on the second game with right back. As you know, Lowe has 2 yellow cards, and on the CONCACAF rules, you do miss a game after 2 yellow cards. Some tournaments is 3. This tournament is 2. And also, Blake does have a yellow card, and obviously don't want him to miss the game in the next round, so he sat out this game. Russell, who hasn't started a game yet in the tournament, is starting this game, along with Latif Badir. And I'm not sure if Lambert had a yellow card from last game. Someone can inform me if that occurred. But Lati will be starting, I would assume, playing the number 8 position, and Russell playing the 6. And then we have the normal upfront 4, with the exception of Bobby Reed. I think Bobby had a knock the last game. You can recall he came out of that game. He was substituted. And Kahim Paris is coming for him. I assume Kahim is going to play on the right since Gray likes the left. Bailey's been playing in the 10 position. Antonio starting up front. So not a bad looking team, frankly. Kahim get a chance to prove his worth. Waite get a chance in goal. I think Waite did a good job when he played over in Austria. So looking for him to continue with his good form. Russell played in Austria. I think people viewing Russell is probably mixed. Some believe he's a good addition. Other things he needs to put some pep in his step and step up his game. Played a little more urgency, a little more vigor. Seemed to do things very deliberate, and probably need to step his game up somewhat. And then Kahim Paris, who played over in Austria, needs to take his chance. He's been given a chance. He needs to take that chance and clearly show them the coach that he deserved to be in the starting lineup. He deserved to be in the team. He deserved his place. Now, I hear a lot of predictions about today's outcome. So before I go there, Fresh God, thanks for joining. And those of you in the comment section, thanks for joining today's stream. As you come in, just hit the like button. If you don't like the stream when it's done, you can always hit the unlike button, but hit the like button as they come in. As they come to the stream, it's greatly appreciated. It will inform others that, you know, the stream is out there and that's a like stream and will generate more interest. So would welcome you hit the like button. But it's good to be here. It's good to come to a game feeling extremely confident. Part of what I've heard is 6, 7, 8 Most people seem to want to settle on 7, but we should never underestimate the opposition. I expect us to win. The last time the US played against this team, they gave them 6 and could have scored more. But I would say the last time we played Trinidad, we gave we scored 4, but frankly, it should have been much more. Bless up King Jav. Glad to have you on the stream. We should have scored more. Sorry, when we played Trinidad, frankly, we're missing easy goals, but it bodes well. If we're creating chances and we're missing goal, that's a good thing, actually. So my hope is that we'll take those chances today. I'm not sure it matters as much, frankly, given we're going to play in the next zone, because I watched the team last night, and Canada, who was supposed to be the top team in that zone, they don't have all their players there, and I wasn't overly impressed. So I don't think we are focused on who we play. I think we're more focused on how we play. So we got to take our chances. We have to keep the ball. We have to move the ball. And we have to clearly demonstrate that we're one of the pre-tournament favorite. We have to show that we're one of the pre-tournament favorite by our performance. The game is supposed to start at 7 New York time, Eastern Standard Time, 6 Jamaica time, but normally starts 6 minutes after the hour. So I expect it to start at 7:06. In the US, it's shown on Fox 1. Not sure. Maybe you can drop in the chat where it's being shown on in Jamaica. I don't have that information. Maybe it's ESPN on one of those channels, but it will be on Fox 1 in the US. And we'll also be keeping looking at the corner of our eye in Jamaica, the corner of the eye, as we think about the Trinidad versus US game, because obviously goal difference is important. And frankly, even though we may have, as we go through the tournament, less concern about who we play, frankly, you want to top your zone. You want to clearly show that you deserve to be in a favored position. And you also want to make sure that those who come into the team are clearly demonstrating, give the coach a challenge to pick the team. If you get an opportunity to start, to play, you have to show to the coach, I deserve my spot. And next time you're consideration for the next game, that you're in his thoughts versus you have a, like what I would call, like a bit of a blasé performance. So let's hope the performance today is good. Let's hope we take our chances. Let's hope we play well. And obviously we expect to win, and nothing but a decent score, I'm sure, will satisfy the community. So let me know what your thoughts are. What are your predictions for the score for today's game? Let me hear your predictions. I hear some big numbers people are throwing out. I want to see what that confidence level is, what that perspective is. I haven't watched much of St. Kitts. I've watched a little bit of their team. They try to keep the ball. They try to play good football, but obviously they're overmatched, actually. I did watch part of their game against the US, and I think that we should do really well against them today. So Devin said, I don't care about the score. Just want to win and play some good football to show that we belong. Yes. Wow. Jade Green. Why am I tell you? 10-0. That's a big score. No, that's more like, I'm trying to think of a sport, but that score would materialize in. That's a big score. It's a big score. That's like American football score. 10 is not normal. We call it soccer score. So that's a big number we're looking for. The US only beat them 6, and the US has a good team. So that may be a stretch to think we'll score 10. Plus, we have a tendency not to put away our chances, right? We scored 40 last game. There were some clear-cut chances we missed that we should have taken. So it'll be interesting to see how much goals we can score in this game. But I expect us to play well. And tell me, is there anyone on the team who needs to step up their game, right? So we know we have not had the same team all 3 games. But anyone do you think is underperforming? Well, underperforming, or those you think are performing exceptionally? If I was to pick out the positive about performing well, I think most players have played well. I have been impressed with Gray for the first time in the region, first time putting on the colors. I think in both games, I mean, he may have one of the more impressive starts for Jamaica in a competitive environment. He had an assist in the first game that cross to low on that set piece on that free kick. But then the second game, he scored 2 goals and 2 well-taken goals. I think one was a tap in. The first one he got from Bailey was a really good goal. But I was more impressed with his overall play, is how quickly he gets the ball down, set himself up, very aware of where he's on the field, and also looking to bring his teammates into play. So I am impressed with how he has started, and I think he's going to get better as the tournament progresses, because we have to recognize that Antonio, Gray, Bailey, and some others didn't went to Austria, took some time off after a long season, and now we're getting their feet back under them. King Javis said Paris will need to step up. He looked off against Jordan. I agree, King, about that. Much is expected of Paris, right? Manning's man really rates him. I haven't seen enough when he plays for Jamaica to say he's there. And as everyone knows, there's a lot of chatter about more people coming in. So if you're in the squad now, you may have to make it difficult for the selectors, including the coach, to get you out the squad. You got to perform really well to demonstrate you earn your place and you should be in the squad. And these are tournaments where one has the opportunity to do so. As you hear the coach say in his press conference, and you can see what his thought process is, even though he played his first 7 games without a victory, and the US game may have been the 8th, if I'm not mistaken, even though that was the case, he hadn't lost what he deemed to be a competitive game. So what he means about that, which is more around competitive game, is like Nations League, Gold Cup. He drew with Mexico in Mexico and frankly could have won that game. He drew with the US and frankly could have won that game. And had a good game against Trinidad. We beat Trinidad. So if you look at the competitive games he has played, he has done really well so far. A lot of friendlies. And frankly, to be honest, and to support him in that perspective, he has not necessarily had his full team when he played a lot of the friendlies. So one can understand why he may not have been overly concerned, because I think he believes when he has his full team, he'll be competitive, the team will play well, and he'll have good outcome. So again, the coach seems to be pretty positive. What I like about him so far is that he's a good recruiter. And I think the most important job of a manager, in my view, is his or her recruiting. We can talk about manager's system of play, style of play, strategy, leadership skill. But if you don't have the tools, which is the product, which are the players, to go out there with a skill set to perform, it's hard to be successful. Not many managers can get to a certain level without having quality players. And I think he's done a good job of not only selecting quality players or bringing them to the squad, but we're getting a number of Premier League players. If you think about the team as it currently constituted, we have Antonio, Gray, Bailey, and Bobby Reid, who all play in the Premier League. Pinnock is not here, he's also played. So that's 5. Amari Bell is with Luton going up to Premier League, so he'll be 6. So you could have had a starting team of 6 Premier League players at some point, which is unheard of in the history of Jamaica team. So let me know, do you think this is the best ever Jamaica team that's been constituted to date? Or can you think of another team, another year, another time, which may be comparable to this team? I just think based on the level of play where we are in the world, with the Premier League being the best league in the world, where the best play, most of the best players congregate, even though you have other leagues like the La Liga and Serie A. It's great to have 6 players, and a number of them are in their team. They're not making up numbers in their team. You think about Antonio, he starts a lot for West Ham. Gray plays a lot for Everton. Bailey plays a lot for Aston Villa. Bobby Reid plays a lot for Fulham. Amari Bell plays a lot for Luton. Pinnock has been one of the best defenders in the Premier League. It does says a lot about the quality of the players we have And they're not just making numbers up in a squad, in the Premier League squad. They're either starters or get significant game time. So our expectation should be high. It is high. It will be high because of the quality of the players we have. And long may it continue. I think Ian is also correcting me that Lambakisa has played for Wolves in the EPL. Yes, he has. He's not a regular starter, but I've seen him play I think in a couple of games. So that would make it about 7 who's had some kind of Premier League experience. So that's a great thing, actually. First responder saying, if Bailey plays unselfish, this is the best team ever. That's an interesting point. So first responder, even if you play selfish, isn't it still a good team? I'm not sure Bailey plays. I think Bailey plays how Bailey plays. So I don't think he deliberately wants to be selfish. I think sometimes people use that term in Jamaica, brought up seat. So you're brought up to play football. So you're brought up to compete on the team. And yes, he needs to understand that the person in the best position should have the ball. And when he has the ball, he needs to be aware of where he is. He needs to be thinking about, how do I get my team in the best position to win, which is moving the ball. But having said that, I think that Jamaican is in him, likes to dribble. So we grew up playing football. But he needs to change to play a team-oriented game. If you note from the last game, he did set up Gray for the first goal that Gray scored. And that was an unselfish play. He could have taken a shot. And Antonio did a similar thing with Gray when he hasn't scored a goal yet and still put Gray in. So I think we'll see more of Bailey playing more unselfish. Kyle is saying, what's more important is he has the change formation to 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, and the players are adapting to it. What's your take on that? I believe it suits our style. I'm not sure what formation he's playing. It looks like a 4-2-3-1 with Bailey playing the 10, but I think he's given latitude and flexibility to the players up front, apart from Antonio, to flex as they see the game is going. You see Gray sometimes comes in the middle, Bailey goes wide, and Dexter adapts to really help out his right back quite a bit. Will probably sit deeper sometimes, but you could interpret it anyway as a 4-4-2 because Bailey does play high. He doesn't play like the traditional 10 does, but I think it's a 4-2-3-1. It's 2 center midfielders sit deep, frankly, even though you sometimes see Lambert when he's there in the box once in a while, or Lati, who seems to have an abundance of energy. And Lati Badir supposedly is a center back and a right back, but I think he's done himself well in the midfield, because he has a lot of energy. He's fit, and you would think by now he gets some fatigue because he had a long season, but that's not the case. He actually runs a lot. First one said, call out the team, please. I can't see it. Okay, I apologize. Let me see if I can. Can you see it now? Let me know if you can see it now. If I pull this up, I can't see the comments, but so here's the team. I'm gonna bring it up because you won't be able to see me then. All right, you may see me a little bit. That's the team right there. I try to bring it way up so you can see the entire team. Is that great? So you can see it now and who's on the bench. So I brought it up as much as I can, if that's good. So that's the team. And you can see from the team there, they have made the coach has made some changes. First responder, you can't see it. You're saying no. Boy, I'm not sure why you can't see it. You can't see first responder. Let me know if you can see it now. I brought it up, so it's showing on my screen that it's way up. Let me know if you still can't see it. And I'll try something else. Maybe I'll just go to Squad Builder and bring it up, actually. But I'll read out the team if you can't see the team. So the team is Jamal Waite in goal. At right back is Lambakisi. Center back is Bernardo Mariappa. Left back is Amari Bell. In the midfield, we have Russell and Latibadir. And the front four is Bailey, Gray, Kahim Paris, and Antonio. So that is the team for today's game. As you can see from the last game, Blake is out because he has a yellow card. And in this window, if you get 2 yellow cards, then you miss a game. So we can't afford that. Secondly, Lowe has 2 yellow cards. And you know Lowe does pick them up quite a bit. In fact, if he doesn't get one, I'm not sure he feels good. So Lowe has 2, so he's missing this game. I think Lambert may have picked one up. I thought Latty did too, but Lambert may have picked one up, so he's out of this game. And these are precautionary measures being undertaken by the coach to make sure he has his full team available for the next round, actually, because he's in a pretty good position and we expect to beat St. Kitts today. And then Bobby Reed, I think, had a knock from the last game. So he's probably has a small knock. He's out. I'm going to take any risk. Blake also, I think somebody mentioning, Dwight mentioning Blake as a yellow. Yes, he has a yellow for, I guess he was time wasting as the referee saw it. So Blake also has a yellow. I'm trying to pull this up. Blake has a yellow. So give me a second here. My mouse pad is giving me a problem. Blake has a yellow. So it's a good team. The expectation is that not the expectation. We need to score a lot of goals today if we want to top the zone. We need to score a lot. Yeah. Ian Campbell saying Lambert has a yellow. I thought so. That's why he's not playing today. But the coach has been sort of consistent with those players who are injured or not on yellow. I think they get to start. That's why you're seeing Antonio, Gray, and Bailey playing. I actually thought he'd probably give Shamar a start today. But I assume he wants to score as much goal as possible. And if he does and keeps an eye on the U.S. Trinidad game, see how that's going, then he may make some early changes. But for now, this is the team. It's a good team. And the expectation is that we should score a bit. We are at 6:52 Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 minutes to game time. I do believe the game will start 6 minutes after the hour, as they have started for so far in this tournament. The game has normally started 6 minutes subsequent. Dwight is saying that Shamar is not very consistent in terms of accuracy. Yeah, Shamar needs to understand that as a center forward, you have your primary job is to either assist on the goal or score the goal. And when you get clear-cut chances, and we've seen a number of players miss some glaring chances in this tournament, as you go deeper in the rounds, it gets more difficult. So you may be able to miss chances now, but when it goes deeper, it's a much more difficult proposition. So you got to take the chance when you get them. And if you can remember last year where Bobby Reed missed a clear sitter against the U.S., and if we had scored that goal, it changes things. So, and we had the same thing with Bobby also missed a sitter. I wouldn't call it a sitter. He missed that clear-cut chance against Trinidad in the first few minutes of the game when Lambert, who I think does a very good job of pressing and stretches long leg out around the player to then allow him to nick the ball off the player, which he did. And we got a clear-cut chance, and Bobby Reed missed it. So Bobby does score some screamers, but he also sometimes doesn't show the level of composure that we'd like him to in front of goal. But he's not starting today. Kahim is starting. So hopefully Kahim will justify the coach's decision as to why he's starting, because obviously there are options on the bench. Ian is saying Ethan should be here for the next game, provided that we qualify for the next round. I don't understand that, Ian. What do you mean it's provided we qualify? You're not as confident as everyone else? People are predicting 10, Ian, double-digit scorer. They're not thinking about qualification. They're thinking about winning the zone. So at least you're very humble in your perspective, because you're basically saying that it could be if we lose and Trinidad draw, but if Trinidad draw, they won't have better goal average. So Trinidad would have to win. I think Trinidad has to win today, which is a hard task, to allow them to go forward. If we lose and Trinidad wins and we don't, and the U.S. would then, it would be U.S. and Trinidad going forward. But Trinidad would have 6 points. The U.S. would have 4, but with a superior goal average. So our goal difference, whatever you want to look at it. But I think we'll win today. I don't think we'll lose, put it that way. So even if we don't win, worst case scenario, I think it's a draw. Dwight is saying we have 7 days between this match in the quarterfinals. So you're assuming that Pinnock's situation will resolve itself, and we will therefore have him with us. Pinnock coming in would be a big deal, you know, because think about it. Pinnock and low in the back with a Lambakisi, I would assume, at right back, and maybe a Maribel at left back. That's a pretty potent defense. Then we would have Lambert and Lati in the middle, and we have the potent front four. So that's a good team. Do I say? I don't think Jack Warner is going to the Obeah Man, because if he was, that Obeah Man hasn't been working to get him out of his troubles with the US. So I don't think going to the Obeah Man is helping Jack Warner. If it was helping him, he'd gotten out of his trouble with the US. He fought extradition for a while, but exhausted his appeal. So we'll see where that goes. Excuse me. But the way to say we could use Pinnock for depth. I think it's more than depth. I mean, Pinnock is one of the better defenders in the EPL. So it's not just depth. We could use him to help shore up the defense. Because frankly, to be honest, Mariappa has struggled in the games he has played. And Bernard has come in and did himself well in that game, much more athletic, provided more than Mariappa has. But I watched Bernard in a number of games. He can be a little bit rash. The one thing Pinnock provide is great composure, and not only composure, but his ability to pass out from the back, which is an imperative for us if you want to maintain possession, I should say, not position. The challenge that we have had as a country in terms of football is our inability to retain position. Ricardo, I am only aware of where it's on the US. I can tell you, actually. I'll look it up. It's on Fox 1 in the US. I think the Trinidad game is actually on Fox 5 in the US. So they're getting primetime free TV. And we have to, obviously, we have to use cable. I'll tell you where the game is in Jamaica. It's supposed to be on ESPN Caribbean. So it's either on the ESPN app, ESPN Play Caribbean, or ESPN Caribbean. Obviously in the US, it's on Fox 1. I think all the games also come on Paramount at some point, even though I'm not sure I saw Paramount here. Here it says it's on Univision also, interestingly, which I wasn't aware of. So it's Univision in the US or Fox 1, actually, which is a cable channel. So if you don't have Fox 1, then and you may not be able to speak Spanish, but at the same time, you can always watch the football. You don't have to listen to the volume or the verbiage. You can just watch the game. Now, I have to try to pull up this game, and I have to switch out my monitor, people. So you have to give me a second, because I have two monitors in front of me. One monitor will carry the game, so I have to do some switching here. So please bear with me. And hopefully I'm not dropping anything here. Let's see if this works. Let me know if you can still see me. If you can still see me, maybe a little bit more challenging than it has before. I need to do something here. So I'm gonna put myself more in the screen. Then I have to change my camera. So I have to do a lot of things here, which I'm not used to doing. So please bear with me. I have to bring the game up and see where we are. I have to pull up my monitor here. And it may be getting dark where I am as I cut down these lights, but bear with me. But I'm looking forward to this game. The game is supposed to be on at 7, but I think it's going to be 7:06. And you can see me with my remote here. I'm having some challenges, so the game may start without me seeing it starting, which is interesting. Let me try to find it and put it up. But the game is on at it should be 7:06 Eastern Standard Time, which is 6 p.m. in Jamaica. And in Jamaica, the game is on ESPN. while here the game is on Fox 1. And I seem to be having some difficulty. I have the game on a number of different feeds, but if I put it on the one that I'm pulling up, it'd be slower. So give me 1 second, people. I have to use. So I think I may have it. Let me see if I can pull this game up. And turn it down so that now I'm getting the Trinidad game. So let me pull up the Jamaica game. And it says live. We're live. So I see the players lining up. They're drinking water. Look like it's hot. They're out in Cali. Like I said out there. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. It's interesting. My screen is not what I'd like it to be. Let me try to broaden this. Okay, that's much better. All right. So what we're seeing on the board here, they're showing the standings. US has 4 points from 2 games, a 6-goal difference. Jamaica has 4 points from 2 games, a 3-goal difference. And Jamaica tonight has the opportunity to really narrow that goal difference, even exceed that goal difference. We really have to ensure that we score a lot of goals tonight. And we can't afford to be missing those chances that we have missed historically. I may have to change my camera here. Let me do this. Yep, I may have to just use my FaceTime camera. Since I'm now looking down, it should be better. So I can look at you versus looking up as if I'm getting, my screen is freezing. So that should be better now. I'm looking into the camera. So I've changed my camera, even though you may see me looking up because I'm looking at the monitor in front of me. Maybe I go back to my previous camera. See, I'm a little bit confused here, trying to manipulate this thing. But what I'm seeing on my screen is the Jamaica team and the St. Kitts team. And the players are now coming out of the tunnel. You may be ahead of me if you're watching on your TV, because I have to stream the game, given my setup here. I do have to stream the game. So you may be somewhat ahead of me. I'm going to switch back my camera. I'm going to be looking up at the screen. So you may be ahead of me. If I see my freezing, like I have, my eyes are cast or something, that's because I'm trying to change my position. So again, welcome. This is the watch along for the Jamaica game versus St. Kitts. And I will also try to keep an eye on the Trinidad versus US game to see because what we're focused on here for the game is the difference in goal difference between US and Jamaica, both on 4 points from 2 games. So it's important that we score as many goals as possible. It's an imperative, frankly, so we can top the zone. We want to make sure, and so far, obviously, we want to go through the zone unbeaten, but more importantly, we want to position ourselves playing well to go to the rest of the tournament. And I think many of us expect us to go far in this tournament. Again, the game is on Fox 1 in the US and ESPN in the Caribbean. If you're in another region apart from the US or the Caribbean, let me know. I will look up where you can watch the game. So if you're in the UK and you're on the stream, I could look up if the game is being shown where in the UK you can get it. I'm sure I'll look it up someplace. It's on Viaplay UK, if you're in the UK. Either Viaplay Sports 2 or just Viaplay UK. I guess one must be an app. So wherever you are in the world, you have some kind of access to view the game. Now, someone may be able to tell me whether Kronke also carries the game. Melshire in Walker in Canada is asking where to see the game, and I would say it's on Fubu TV Canada. I think that's a pay TV, or One Soccer. I'm not sure what One Soccer is. So you'd have to Fubu TV Canada or One Soccer, which is not good. That means they're not carrying it on sort of the normal cable channels, actually. If you have IPTV, you can get it on Fox One. You can get it on a bunch of different channels. If in Germany, you can get it on Sports One Extra. If you are, I was in Jamaica, I said ESPN. If you are in the Netherlands, it's ESPN. I guess it's ESPN Europe. So wherever you are in the world, it's Busha, all the Caribbean, it seems to be ESPN. As I saw through where the game is being shown. And the US, actually, the US is on Univision. I should mention that actually, because Univision is free, but in Spanish. The game is off. I should mention the game is off. And some of you may be a little bit ahead of me. Jamaica has the ball, playing it around. St. Kitts seem to be dropping off, so I guess they're not going to press like we've seen for a number of teams who they played. They're playing the ball around at the back. And a colleague of mine just called me and asked me, why is the stadium empty? Jamaicans don't travel to California to watch games. Maybe that's what it is. I'm sure St. Kitts don't have too many people who are probably migrated that are in California also. So that makes that interesting. Jamaica with the ball. Paris get around his man into the trying to get the ball in the box. Has the ball. Oh, Bailey, I should say. I'm sorry. Is that Bailey? I can't even see that well. Oh, it's Paris. Okay. And he got fouled. So Jamaica attacking. That was a good attack. We're a minute into the game. Jamaica 0, St. Kitts 0. Looking forward to this game today. Looking forward to have a positive outcome. But more importantly, looking forward to scoring a lot of goals. Lots of goals. And we have to, CONCACAF needs to do a better job of trying to identify where population resides for all these countries and try to hold the games in those regions. I know the US game, US can play anywhere, right? But they're going to get the crowd. But they have to do a better job of trying to make sure teams like Jamaica or Trinidad, they're in regions or locations where they can get fans out. Dwight says we need to we need to make sure St. Kitts acquiesce to us. Jamaica with the ball with Amar Bell. I think it's gonna be an easy game for us, but I want us to play our normal game and not overdo it, right? Sometimes when you have a lesser opponent, you tend to overdo the game. So let's just play a normal game. Dwight said we should be used to an empty stadium given the games in Austria. Yeah, that's true. And some of these players have played during COVID too, where there are a bunch of empty stadiums. So you're right about that one. We're 2 minutes and 31 seconds in. Again, I said if you are watching Univision, Fox One, ESPN, you may be ahead of my stream somewhat because I'm actually streaming the game, not watching it on TV, or as they say in the UK, on the tube. Jamaica with the ball deep in our own half. Ball played up to Marbell, played the ball into Antonio. He has it. Trying to get around defender, and it's kicked out a bounce for a corner. So first corner to Jamaica. St. Kitts looks like it's going to be an interesting situation to see how well can they put up a real fight. Actually, it's going to be a long evening for St. Kitts, just based on the early parts of play so far. The corner is going to be taken by Amari Gray. I'm sorry, by Damari Gray. I'm saying Amari Gray, changing his name. Poor corner, ball kicked out, picked up, and hit. Tried a long pass, control, poor ball. Ball is just bouncing around. We don't have any set pattern of play. We need to settle down. We really need to settle down. St. Kitts is on a break. It's a 2-on-2 break. Coming forward, trying to take on his man. And Maribel did a great job of, or is that Bernard? Trying to sense who that is. It was Amari Bell. Tackle the ball out of bounds. We have to be careful on counterattacks, actually. Sometimes you can get overconfident. Hey, Chris, Hale, and make mistakes. That's not warranted. We can't afford to give up a goal, and we have to score a bunch of goals. So we just need to play within ourselves, actually. and not overdo it. And St. Kitts is trying, but I think they're overmatched. Just looking at the early runnings and how they're playing the ball around. Ball was with the St. Kitts keeper. We are 4 minutes and 38 seconds in. Though the game is 0-0. Jamaica versus St. Kitts. Ball out of bounds at the halfway line, thrown to Jamaica. St. Kitts look up for the game. Dwight, I don't think St. Kitts got the package as you denoted. I think the package must have got left in Amazon. Didn't deliver today, even though they always deliver. I don't think they delivered today. Jamaica with the ball in the middle of the field. Latibadir looking for a pass, plays it back to Mariappa, back to Latibadir, plays it out to Bernard, looks wide to Lambakisi, looking for a pass, can't find one. Ball blocked out of bounds to Jamaica. St. Kitts shouldn't be touching the ball when we have it until we get into their 18. We have to do a better job of keeping the ball. Jamaica plays down at the halfway line. It looks like, is that Antonio? No, it's not Antonio. Somebody's down. I'm trying to figure out who it is. I see. Is it? It's Latibadir. It doesn't. He looks sick actually. Now he got kicked or something, but he didn't look okay. I'm not sure what happened. Chris is saying we don't really need to win the group. Why is that, Chris? Why wouldn't you want to win the group? You think it's easier if we lose to play who? Canada or someone like that? I think we just need to win. We just need to win the group just to win. I think we should just try to be on top for everything. It builds confidence. Antonio with a cross, ball in the box, headed out by St. Kitts. We're not settled. We need to put the ball on the ground, display the ball, and play with composure. The ball is bouncing around too much. We are 6.5 minutes in. The game is 0-0, Jamaica versus St. Kitts. I think the U.S. scored after this point. After I think the first number of minutes, they were just trying to keep the ball, and then the fountain broke open. So let's see what happens here. The ball is just over the halfway line in Jamaica half. Throw into St. Kitts. And if you just come in the stream, please hit the like button. Hit the like button before you leave, actually. Or hit it while you enter the stream. Not many people sometimes leave to go watch the game and come back, but you can stay with us. You can watch the game and listen. Ball with Latibadir. It's going to go long. He's gone long. We're not settled at all. We're playing like we're playing, as I think cricket, bat upon catch. You just kick the ball and it goes to one person next to you. We need to settle and put the ball on the ground. St. Kitts has the ball, looking for someone to pass in their own half. Ball pass back to the keeper. You're watching the Jamaica versus St. Kitts game. The game is being shown in the U.S. on Univision and on Fox 1 and the Caribbean on ESPN Caribbean. St. Kitts with the ball, attacking Jamaica out wide and taking on Lambakisi. Good block by Latibadir. St. Kitts still has the ball, trying to go over the top over Amari Bell. St. Kitts putting on a fight. And they're playing as if they are the equal of us. And I just think we need to, I've been saying this since the stream started, which is put the ball on the ground and settle and play football. They're not at the same level as Jamaica. And, they're playing with no pressure, actually. So they can take risks, they can take chances. They're not going to feel any pressure because they can't make it to the next round. So they're just playing for pride. We're playing to top the zone, basically. Ball is played back to Mariappa, to Bernard with the ball deep. Looking for a pass, can't find one. Trying to bring it out of the halfway line, going over the top to Antonio. It's a decent ball. Defender is leading on Antonio. Trying to get the ball upfield, which he has done a good job. So we're trying to get the ball over the top to Antonio. I think we need to walk the ball through the defense to do so. Chris, explain why you want a draw. Let me hear the rationale for a draw. Not sure you want us to draw this game. Balls with Russell, playing to Latibeaudiere, looking for a pass. Goes out to Bailey. Bailey with the ball. I think Bailey's getting frustrated about how we're playing, trying to make something happen. He's going on one of his dribbles. Play the ball to Gray. Gray looking for a pass. Plays the ball back to Lati. Lati plays it out to Bernard. Bernard will go out to Bailey. Bailey looking for a pass back to Amari. Yeah, we should just keep the ball and see if we can penetrate their defense, which is what we're doing now. Is putting the ball on the ground, is playing the ball, playing safe. Nothing penetrative, but just playing safe. St. Kitts is holding their own so far. And Amar Bell is playing way upfield, which I think just create more congestion up top. I think we need to stay in our position, space the field out, stay on the line. The more which you create, the more gaps you have. Lambakis with the ball, looking past it to Parrott. Plays into Russell to Latibeaudiere. Go wide to Amari. Now put the ball in the box, Amari Betty. That's not wide. Cross the ball in the box. Good cross. Headed out by St. Kitts. Lambakis with the ball. Looking for a pass. Plays it inside. Now we're playing more with more purpose. Looking to create something. Go wide out to Amari. You have it inside. Go wide to Amari. Control. Poor ball by Latibeaudiere. No pressure. You keep the ball out of bounds for a throw. Not impressed with our play so far. St. Kitts has a breakaway. Ball on the left, looking to make a play. Play it back inside. St. Kitts has room in the middle. Our forward line need to come back and help their defense. I know St. Kitts is not the best team, but we're not. Our 4 upfront players are just sitting there, not going back to help. They're just walking. And St. Kitts has the first shot of the game, actually, which is interesting. Chris is saying not that he wants a draw, but that we're playing like we want one. Yeah, we're not playing with purpose. And those 10-0 score don't look. There's a corner to St. Kitts, ball headed out of bounds. Goal kick to Jamaica. That 10-0 prediction that someone had at the start of the stream doesn't look like it's going to materialize at all. Yeah, we're watching the St. Kitts and Nevis, I should say. I think when people say Trinidad, those are from Tobago get perturbed. So I'm not sure the individuals from Nevis. He's the same, but the St. Kitts and Nevis. The score is 0-0. And Jamaica is not playing as you would expect them to play, given the quality of the field. We're almost 30 minutes in. We haven't taken a shot on goal. We haven't penetrated their defense. We haven't really done much, frankly. In fact, they've taken a shot on goal. We're playing like we don't know how to play football at some points. Ball is in Jamaica halfway in the half, with Mariapa to Russell, back to Mariapa, looking for a pass. Plays was out to Gray, looking for a pass. Comes back inside to Russell, back to Bernard in defense. Plays into Antonio. He's been fouled. Jamaica with a free kick. About halfway in the St. Kitts half. We now have a chance to probably put something deep and see if we can get penetration, actually. But not impressive start for us so far. Maybe the sun is too hot for us. I don't know what it is. We haven't started well. Speng Dunn is saying that they're defending, St. Kitts defending with 9 players. Well, they're playing counter-attacking football, right? And if you're not as strong as another team, that's what you got to do to survive and maybe to even win the game. We're forcing the ball upfield. Ball with Bailey, tries to go wide. Antonio controls. Oh, miscontrol. Come on, Antonio. The ball's in the box. He had a clear chance to control the ball. Now there's a break for St. Kitts. It's, well, trying to break. The player made a bad pass. They got it back. St. Kitts with the ball in the Jamaica half. And you can see St. Kitts is not at the right level. It's not at this level. Their passing is not crisp. They're not finding their teammates as they should. But neither are we, frankly. Good 1-2 between Paris and Bailey. Paris comes back to Lambakisi. He's looking to go inside, doesn't have a pass, has to go all the way back to Bernard. He goes to Latiboudere at the halfway line. We can't penetrate them. If you can't go to the lines to get the ball over, then you should go top. Gray has the ball on top of the box. And he kicks the ball out of the ball. Almost got by to cross it, and that's just, that play is reflective of how we're playing this game. Gray at it, dipped right, trying to go back left across, and was a poor touch. Ball out of bounds for a goal kick to St. Kitts. We're watching the game between St. Kitts and Nevis and Jamaica. It's 0-0 after the first 15 minutes. And apparently Chris is saying US is up 1. Yeah, I think we're going to be if we're playing this way, we're not going to score a lot of goals. And the stadium is literally empty. It may only be Cataract and the Ultras in this stands because it's a big stadium, but you can count the number of people in there. Very, very sparse is the way I put it. Jamaica have the ball out wide to Gray, looking to, and St. Kitts is defending. So they're bringing back all their players to defend. They're not just playing in forward, just play forward and midfielders. They're defending as a team. They've come here to not to roll over, but to give a good account of themselves. And we can't play like this if we're gonna expect to go far in the tournament. We have to be better. So Ferreira has been set up. I'm not watching the game, but Ferreira scored for the U.S. Against Trinidad. So Trinidad is down 1-0. Frankly, the way the game is going, man, I might as well just watch the Trinidad game. It sounds really bad me saying that, but it has to be more interesting in this game because we're not doing anything. And in fact, I'm going to try to watch both of these streams simultaneously. I'm going to glance. Obviously, I'm watching this game. That's what the watch along is about. But we got to play better. We have to play better. We're not playing well. We haven't settled from the game start. No composure. No pattern of play. We're just playing football. Not a good thing. Yes, the US is up 1-0. I'm actually seeing that now on my screen. Ball is with Gray. He's trying to penetrate. Takes a shot, and ball is blocked and rolled harmlessly to the keeper. That was the first shot that we have truly taken. Was on target, but the pace was taken off by the block by the defender, actually. I haven't really seen Bailey in this game much. I haven't seen Antonio much. That's my concern with this team, which is how do we get the ball up to the forward line? Is it the midfielders? Is it defenders? Or is it the forwards not moving into space as well as they should? Because we played the US, it was the same thing, right? We had difficulty getting the ball to our danger men up top. Ball is out wide to St. Kitts. They have the ball down by the Jamaica corner flag, trying to play his way out. And ball is out of bounds, throwing to Jamaica. St. Kitts is trying, but they don't have the quality. But we're not doing much either. We are 18 minutes in, Jamaica 0, St. Kitts 0. And we are 18 minutes in the US game, almost, and it's US 1, Trinidad 0. Balls with so Antonio Bailey trying a long pass, which was poorly hit. Antonio intercepted the ball, but then he lost it. I think we need to start pressing St. Kitts. Press hard. Let them go behind us if they want to get upfield. Press them. Don't wait for them to play football. Press them man-to-man all over the field. All right, if you want to press with some semblance of man and zone, then you should do so. but we need to start putting pressure on them. We need to up the tempo of the game. They're comfortable. They're playing the ball between the lines. Jamaica has the ball to Lati, but come on, Lati, play the ball upfield. Lati ball into Gray, and he goes back, which bad play because Bailey was moving. Take more risk, Gray. Amari looks like he wants to go long. Ball is into Antonio. 1-2 to Gray. Gray back to Antonio. Ball to Latiberdier. He turns back again. Come on, guys. Not the way to play. We're going back too much. This is St. Kitts. Ball into Paris. He's looking for a pass. He goes inside to Antonio, who turns, looking for a pass, and an awful, awful ball by Antonio. Not sure where who was trying to get the ball to, but that was a horrible pass. Chris is saying Trinidad game is fast. I guess people are watching both games, actually. So, Chris, I assume that you're watching the Trinidad game while you're watching the Jamaica game. Or are you saying the Jamaica game is too slow, so you're just watching the Trinidad game? Which one is it? I think his goalkeeper had a good throw on him. He's throwing the ball way over the halfway line. I think he threw the ball from his goal almost into the middle of the Jamaica half. It's a great throw. We have to do a better job of moving the ball. This is disappointing. We're 21 minutes in, and the score is 0-0, and we haven't really created a chance so far. Ball into Antonio. Blocks his man off turn, plays the ball out wide to Paris. Paris, good ball into Russell. Tries a shot instead of crossing. Ball out to Bailey. Miscontrols it. He's in the box, just outside the box, looking for a pass. Plays the ball out to Antonio. Looks like he wanted to shoot, and he's going to shoot. And it's a wayward shot out wide. I think that's a frustration shot by Antonio. Yeah, I think there's some kind of frustration there. They're playing with a lot of people in the box. 3, 6, 7. We have 8 defenders back for St. Kitts. So if that's the case, let them come out. Play the ball and let them come out off that low block that they have. If you see me turn my head to the right, that means I'm watching the Trinidad game while the Jamaica game is down. And St. Kitts keeper seem to be under some duress. He has the trainer out. And the U.S. game, U.S. has the ball. This is play the ball in the box. They're playing good combinations. So look at Trinidad as 7 women back, but U.S. is playing good combinations to try to get behind the Trinidad defense. We need to do more of that. Trinidad, some nice 1-2. Playing the ball around, actually. I think the keeper hurt himself. You hear me say the keeper made that brilliant throw over the halfway line. I think he hurt himself on that throw. Trinidad is playing with confidence and moving the ball. In fact, playing better than how we are playing. They're pretty comfortable on the ball. I'm actually watching the Trinidad game now. They're moving the ball around and let the U.S. chase them. They look much better than they did against us, actually. Some nice combination in the middle of the park by Trinidad. Yeah, Chris, I don't know what we're doing, Chris. We're doing something, but I'm not sure what we're doing. We're 23 minutes in, and Jamaica has had 1 shot on target today. I got a text from someone who says, maybe St. Kitts needs to score more to have us show more zest. And I'm getting all these texts of people who are very frustrated with how we're playing. We have to play better. Frankly, it's frustrating watching this game. It's not. We have been poor, really poor. 24 minutes in, score is 0-0. If you're watching the Trinidad game or keeping track of that game, the U.S. is leading Trinidad by 1-0. Ball's with Parrish looking for a pass. Can't even find a pass. There's no one to pass the ball to. I have no idea what they're doing. No one to pass the ball to. We're not moving. We're not creating space. We're playing like we're at home, just relaxing. 24 minutes and 40 seconds in. Game is tied at 0, is the way I put it. Jamaica attacking deep in the St. Kitts half. Amari Bell looking for a pass, goes back to Russell. Russell to Gray. Gray trying some trickery. Looking to cross the ball in the box, plays it to Paris. A good chip ball over to Bailey. Bailey cross, defended by St. Kitts. I don't think Bailey looked really well to see where to put that ball. He was in a good place to try to chip the ball over and to Antonio's head versus going low where the defender is, and didn't show any creativity. See, he tried to cross it. He didn't look when he crossed it. That's the way to cross it. He just tried to put the ball in the box. Sometimes you have to do that. Antonio with the ball out wide, playing it back to Amari Bell, back to Antonio. Put in the box, Antonio. Try to cross. It's part of it. It's a mumble, jumble, fumble, stumble, rumble type of game. There's no cohesion. We're not doing what we expect to do. We're not playing the ball between the line. We're not moving the ball upfield, playing the ball between the line, trying to penetrate. It's not the best watch so far, people. Yeah, it's not the best watch. It's not the best watch, I'll put that way. In fact, the Trinidad game is more interesting to watch. But we'll keep watching Jamaica. Hopefully we can conjure up something. We have the ball in the St. Kitts half. Ball play out wide to Lambakisa. He has a couple of options, but he chooses to go back as we have been doing all game. We need to space the ball out. Amari Bell is too far to feed. He need to come more lateral to create more space, draw the defenders out, and get the ball in behind. If you clog up the lanes, if you clog up top, you're not going to have the space to play the ball. Ball play out wide to Amari Bell, looking to cross in the box. There's no one there. He plays the ball wide out to Russell, plays it into Latipo there. He tries to go deep and nothing doing. Ball headed up by St. Kitts and got to the keeper. The inventiveness that is needed is not materializing at all. We need something special. Maybe, we complain about Bailey dribbling, but maybe it's the time to do something. Ball played up by St. Kitts attacking, down on the left. They're coming forward the ball, looking to pass, play the ball inside to number 19, who plays it back. St. Kitts now playing the ball in Jamaica half, looking to penetrate. I think that throw should have been for Jamaica, actually, but it goes to St. Kitts. We're at 27 minutes and 30 seconds in. St. Kitts and Jamaica, the score is even at 0. That's all the best thing I can call it. St. Kitts looking for a shot. Brilliant block there by, I think that may have been Bernard. Bernard is a physical player, but St. Kitts have the ball again, and they're playing the ball. And those score of 10 and 7 and 8, they're not looking too good right now, those predictions. I think we base those predictions on the fact that Trinidad won, 3 against St. Kitts, and they gave up 6 goals to the U.S., but they're looking like we're making them look good, is what I'll say. St. Kitts with the ball attacking. Number 20 goes inside and fouled by, I think it's Paris. Is he in trouble with the referee? It's not a good foul. It's a forward foul. He just ran over the player. Wasn't playing the ball. We're making St. Kitts look good. We're making St. Kitts look good. It's not a good thing. I'm not sure what we're doing. I'm sure the Jamaica populace and people may be very frustrated about how we're playing. We have to do better. We have to do more. The score is tied at 0, is what I put it. That's the best I can say. St. Kitts with the ball, midway in Jamaica half. They have a free kick. They have about 3 men on the right. They played over to that side. Wade comes out, good punch. Ball is to Gray. Jamaica has a chance to counterattack. Gray out on the left, almost at the halfway line. He's going to cut back inside. You need to cut inside and go by him. Cuts inside. looking for a pass, plays the ball brilliantly out to Bailey. Bailey in the box looking to cross. Bailey cross. And is it scored? The ball hit the ball. It's a goal. Goal scored by Kareem Parrish. Brilliant counterattack. And that's what happens when you get teams to come out. So look what we had. St. Kitts had a free kick midway in Jamaica half. And that's what happens when you are not balanced when you're attacking. They thrust a lot of players forward. They actually had 3 players on the right-hand side of that free kick. Ball, brilliant punch up by Waite to Amari Bell to Gray. Gray did a really good job. So here's the replay. Punch up by Waite. It got out to Gray. Gray got the ball out. Dribbled all the way up to the halfway line. Dipped his shoulder. Went inside looking for a pass. Antonio made a run. Bailey made a run. Antonio and Kareem Parrish busting their chops to go in. And in fact, people, the keeper scored it. That's an interesting one. What are they going to call it? That's an own goal. That wasn't on target. I don't think it was on target. I think that may have missed the goal. That may have been an own goal by the keeper. You can't make it up. It's an own goal. Let's see what they call it, actually. But it looks like an own goal to me. That's really interesting. And Chris says he called the counterattack. I think it's pretty hot out there because they have a water break at the half-hour mark. If you just joined us, look like the U.S. may have scored again. Am I missing something? If you just joined us for the game with the Jamaica versus St. Kitts Nevis, Jamaica just scored on what seems to be an own goal by the keeper and a leading 1-0. And in the U.S. game against Trinidad, the score is 1-0 by U.S. And Trinidad just had an attacking play, and they exercised more composure. They could have done better with that attack. But I'm actually getting a split screen from Fox here, because given that we had the water break for Jamaica and also watching the U.S. game, U.S. has the ball in their box. It's the 31st minute, so we're almost equivalent in terms of time, which is what the purpose of CONCACAF is, to make sure both games are played at the same time. So if there's any tiebreaker, people can't manipulate the game or manipulate the situation. We're watching the U.S. versus Trinidad, and the game that we're focused on is Jamaica versus St. Kitts, and Jamaica just scored, and they scored on a counter-attacking play. St. Kitts had one of their few attacks, free kick, ball played out, punched out by the keeper de Gray, who made a really brilliant, beautiful pass with the right pace to Bailey, who did the right thing of crossing, and it was a really good cross. Should have maybe taken a little pace off it. It was a really good cross away from the defense, and the ball is going away from goal, and the keeper was a little bit flummoxed. He put his hand out and knocked the ball into his own goal. So not a good thing. I am not sure what Gunner's boss is talking about. Gunner's boss, he must have joined the stream, and I have no idea what you're talking about. No critical commentary. You're confusing objective, independent, agnostic commentary with critical commentary. Don't confuse the two. They're mutually exclusive. St. Kitts attacking down the right, looking to go forward, but they're not at this level. We should be doing better against them. I think they're not at this level. You can see how they play. They have a few players that have touches, but they're not. It's a different level. They're 2 different levels. We need to be playing better. Ball played deep down to Bailey. Control is in the box. Did that beautiful drag back play, looking to go right, and very good cross, but no one's at the end of the cross. And if anyone said Bailey's playing selfish, he's not today. He's looking for his teammate, because he could have taken a shot there. In fact, maybe he should have taken that shot. He did a great job of controlling the ball. He did that pull back by the defender and had a chance to shoot. He tried to be unselfish. I think that's the one time he probably should have put his laces through the ball and go near post, but that didn't occur. We are 34 minutes in, and Jamaica scored a goal. Jamaica won, St. Kitts 0, US 1, Trinidad 0, and the timeline for the Trinidad game is similar to our timeline. Wait with the ball deep over, ball to Antonio, and he wants to run. I think that should be a handball, referee. Ball played out to Gray. They call him for offside. Gray's in the box. Cross the ball. Is it offside? It is offside. Ball was crossed to Bailey. He scored, but the referee has called offside. Let's see what bar. We should not be offside on that play. Now, who's offside? The ball is played out. Antonio has the ball. Yeah, Gray was offside, I think. Yeah, Gray was offside. Barely offside, but you can see he shouldn't have been offside. Gray, he has to do a better job of recognizing where he is. He should not be offside on that play. He's at a place where he can see the line across the field. Gray should be much more aware than not be offside. That should have been a goal, actually. You can't afford to be offside there. So Spain Don says, come on, Kronke, it's 9 men behind the ball. Low block, hard to break down, because I think the heat will be helping these players either. I agree with the heat, but I think Spain Don, if a team is playing 9 men behind the ball, then you got to spread the field, right? Spread the field, play on the touchline if you're a winger. Spread the field out, space them out to create space in between the gaps. And if you do so, you'll get chances. Ball played into Russell. Oh, and that's not what Russell does. He's trying to go by his man, which he probably should have beat him, actually. If he had dipped his shoulder, he would have gotten by the player. But it was a really good break. It was that ball by Antonio to Russell. He tried to cut back inside. I think if he had dipped his shoulder left and go right, he would have gotten by him. But that was a good attack. Or an attempt for a good attack, I should say. So Chris says, officially an own goal. Yes, I thought it was. That ball was not on target that he knocked into his goal. So Jamaica has the ball deep in his own half. Ball played back to Waite. Looking to pass out to. And if you just join us to Mariapa, it's almost 37 minutes in. Jamaica leading St. Kitts by 1-0. Jamaica has the ball deep in their own half, trying to play out. The game is being shown, if you just joined, on Fox 1, the US and Jamaica game. Trinidad game is on Fox 5. Depends on what part of the country you're in, but it's on free TV Fox. And that's the US game. Jamaica game of the Caribbean is on ESPN Caribbean, and it's on the ESPN Caribbean app also. Russell did a good job of winning the ball. Play the ball out to, I think that's Mariapa. Mariapa to Gray. Gray back to Mariapa. Mariapa go wide to Amari and move the ball quicker. That's good. We're walking the ball up the field now. What we're doing really well, though, is running off the defenders, which is good. Bailey with the ball, looking for a cross. Tries to go back to Kareem Paris, and almost another own goal. That ball was knocked out of bounds by St. Kitts. But I think what we're doing is, even though they're playing 9, they're a little bit up the field. They're not really truly low blocking their 18. We're having space behind the defenders. We just have to make sure that the passes are precise. And when we make the pass, we're going back to receive the ball. So if you make a long pass upfield, you have people running into the box to create space, because then the defense has to turn to recover. I think Jay Green is saying YouTube CONCACAF page. Let me put this up. So I assume that YouTube may be carrying the game also, not YouTube, CONCACAF, which they have done quite a bit throughout this tournament. Jamaica the ball, Lambakisi. Lambakisi plays the ball to Paris. He plays it wide out to Amari, plays the ball in the box. We have the ball deep by the corner flag, trying to get out. That should be a corner to Jamaica. What did he call? He called a goal kick. I think that's a bad call by the linesman. And US just scored another goal. It's a mad scramble in Trinidad area. Ball crossed to the left, came back off the knee of the forward. He shot and scored. I think US is going to win this one on goal average, given the way the game is going so far, or the games are going. So US has, I think, it's a 4-goal cushion on us. And the way we're going, I don't think we're going to score any. We got more chances against Trinidad than we have against St. Kitts, frankly, which is interesting. I think Bailey's now got back into this. I'm going to try to beat the defense by myself, which is not good. I think we need to make the ball do the work, Bailey. Good fight by Paris to win the ball. I might have to stop my cam for 1 second. So I came out of the dark. I'm now into the light. Hopefully Jamaica can come into the light and we can score some more goals. If you're watching the game between Jamaica and St. Kitts, Jamaica leading by 1-0. We're in the 41st minute. We haven't created a ton of chances. This is a free kick by Gray. It's probably going to go deep to the left side to try to head the ball. We have nobody on the right post, side of the post, to head the ball across back if he goes wide. So good cross, headed towards goal, headed out of bounds by Mariappa. I think on those balls, when they cross to the left, you need somebody on also to the right. So if you head the ball back across, they can head the ball into the goal. The 1 goal we scored was an own goal. So we really haven't scored a goal yet, actually. And the US has scored 2. So for those who are saying we give St. Kitts 10, still may happen, but based on the run of play, it doesn't seem that way so far. That may be on outside. Ball was played to Amari Bell. Ball to Russell. Russell looking for a pass. Try to go across field into Kahim Paris looking for a pass. Let's go to Gray, and the ball is intercepted. St. Kitts with the ball trying to break. And the ball is broken out wide. Number 21 going against Lambakis. He's looking for a cross. Ball's in the box, and no pattern of play, people. Ball is going back and forth between Jamaica and St. Kitts. Ball deep in St. Kitts after Bailey. Bailey has options. He can go left to Paris. He does. Paris to say go right to Paris. Paris looking for a pass. Goes back inside to Russell. Russell just outside the top of the key looking for a pass. Is turned back. Nothing is there. Come back to Lambakis, who turned and got fouled. Free kick to Jamaica on the right. This will be another cross by, I assume it would be Gray taking all these free kicks, trying to go far post. Good turn by Lambakis. Get away from his man and earn the free kick. I think Chris is getting frustrated with the play, so we're clearly not interested to win the group. I think we want to win the group. We're just not playing. I know we're saying St. Kitts has 9, but we're not. And look, I think they should come out and play football, St. Kitts, actually. I know they want to keep the score down, but look, you have nothing to lose. They need to come out and play. I'm not sure what's happening here. Well, the referee's talking to Lati and the number 20 from St. Kitts. Probably having the normal pushing and shoving in the box. So this is going to be taken by Bailey. I don't like free kicks taken swinging in. I probably swing out, but let's see what happens. Ball headed out by St. Kitts. Picked up by Bernard, edged to Amari, back to Bernard looking for a cross. He crossed the ball into the box. And St. Kitts, it's hard to commentate on this game because the ball just keep going back and forth between the two teams. Normally, you can commentate well if there is a pattern of play and the ball is moving. To go into the same jerseys, that's been interesting. Jamaica has the ball. Lambakis plays the ball out wide to Gray. Gray has switched wing, it appears. and has a good ball into Bailey, one-on-one in and goal. Bailey with the keeper. And Bailey pass it for once who's offline. It's scored, but I think it's offside. I'm not sure who's offside though. Is that Bailey or Lambakisi? I think it's Bailey was not offside. Oh, he was barely offside. He went too early. No reason to go actually. He's between the two defenders. No reason for him to go. There was no reason for Bailey to go. And actually, Bailey's been unselfish because that was his goal inside to get up to Lambakisi, but there was no reason for him to go, be offside on that play. From my angle, it looked like Bailey was offside, but let's see. Yeah, he's called for the offside. There was no reason for him to go. He could have stood. He checked his run initially. He should just stay where he was. There was no reason for him to be outside. That's the same one we had with Gray, one with Gray earlier, where he was offside. And you have to be cognizant that they're trying to play outside trap because they're not at the same level. So they have to find ways to compensate for the talent deficiency, and they're doing a good job so far. Jamaica with the ball, almost at the halfway line. Lambakisi plays it inside to Latibodero, goes wide out to Amari Bell, who's probably going to go wide out to Kenny Paris. Bell is going by to get the pass. Paris coming inside, plays the ball back. We like to go back, actually, for no reason. Go back to Lati to Bernard to Gray looking to cross. Doesn't see a cross, drifts in the middle, plays the ball out to Lambakisi, who's going out wide, looking for a pass. Goes inside to Antonio, back to Russell, back to Gray. Now this is good. Back to Bailey, brilliant back heel. And goal by Russell, his first goal for Jamaica. That's what we're talking about. You can break a defense down if you go between the lines, play the 1-2, let them have to commit. And St. Kitts now must be getting tired. Russell with his first goal for Jamaica. Jamaica 2, St. Kitts and Nevis 0. Now that was a good pattern of play. Composure, slow build up, looking for spaces, you're not being pressured, making the pass at the right pace, at the right place, in the right space. Ball in from Gray, played to Antonio, back to Russell, played back to Bale with a brilliant back heel. And Russell took his goal well. Took it well. Kicked it away from the keeper, kicked it to the keeper's right, took the goal well. He didn't even look up when he scored, actually. He looked down, but he knew where he was, picked his spot, and put it in the net. And I will say this, that Bailey has been playing really unselfish. Gunner's boss. You don't need sound Gunner's boss to watch the game. You're not watching with your ears, you're watching with your eyes, okay? And you know I'm gonna give you a hard time because you try to give me a hard time all the time. So you should not make those comments so I can jump on you. You want to watch the game with your ears. Oh, that was a shot by St. Kitts on goal. I'm so busy looking at what Gunner's also doing, didn't see that play. St. Kitts with the ball in the box, looking to go by. Oh, good dip by the player. The ref looked like he wanted to call a penalty. He hesitated for a while, then pointed for a goal kick. Gunner's boss, Gunner's boss, I'm not watching the game with sound because if I did, I would not be able to commentate on the game. No, I watch the game, all the games silent because if I watch with sound, then I wouldn't be able to commentate on the game. And you can't let the game come through on the tube because then my next man may get in trouble. And Kyle Wallace is saying Bailey man of the match. Actually, Kyle, this is how Bailey should be playing. Now, I'm not saying all the time because I think he had chances to shoot sometime where he passed. But I think he's heard the criticism. And I think he's responded to it. Which is a good thing. I think when you play as a team, you create more of a relationship with your teammate. It allows you to bond more. It allows you to garner more respect. You don't seem to be selfish. You seem more to be unselfish. You seem like a team player. And you're not trying to show others up or try to show the opposition up. So I think it's a good thing. He has made an effort, significant effort, frankly, to be a team player today. Is very obvious. And that was epitomized by the pass he made to Lambakisi, even though he was offside, because he was clearly in on goal and decided to pass the ball. And we see that last time also with Antonio when he laid that ball to Gray for the goal that he scored in that game, the second goal Gray scored. So if your team is, sometimes we don't want to overpass, right? You can overpass and opportunities get a miss, but I think it's a good thing to play as a team. And all these positive comments on Bailey, maybe someone should bottle these comments and pass them on to him and his entourage, because it does show people are not really anti-Bailey. I know the first game against the US, he had a lot of negative criticism because people were frustrated with his play and what was deemed to be selfish play and play where almost like he was trying to prove something. I think today he is playing as if it's a team game, and therefore he's playing with his teammates, which is good. So if you have just joined us, we've come to the end of the first half for both the Trinidad game and the Jamaica game. Jamaica is leading St. Kitts by 2-0, if I'm not wrong. Last time I saw the US game was 2-0, but I think it's 3-0 now. Look, I think Trinidad has been trying in their game against the US actually. They put up an effort, but it's tough against the US. People saying this is a US B team. I would admit I've called it the B team too, but they don't really have a B team. They have A plus team and an A team. That's the way I view it. So let me hear your comments on the first half of play. Please provide your comments on what your thoughts are on the first half of the play so far. So Gunnar's boss is saying his play, I assume he's talking about Bailey, is improved comparing to his last two stand. Leon and the rest of the team are settling down and getting to adopt the coaches and each other's game and personalities. Yeah, well, let me decipher your comments, Gunnar's boss, and provide my response. I would say this, which is, yes, the vibes in the camp appear to be optimum, given how we have had the challenges in previous camps. I think it started probably way back in Austria. People seem to be on the same page, playing for each other, even though we had some challenges in the first game. But I do think that we have to play better. So it's one thing to play as a team, we got to play better. We're not playing as well as we should. And I think Cataract said the score is going to be 7. We'll see, maybe. So Cataract want me to send the link. Cataract, let me see if I can do that, actually. Send me your information, Cataract, so I can send it to you. I'm not sure where to send it to Cataract. Messenger. Send me instruction, Cataract. I send it to you. Send me the information. All right, let me try to find a different avenue to get it to you. I'll send it to myself and then get it to you. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Cataract. I'm trying to get to you. I'm sure you're in the game. You're at the game because you. I must say for Cataract though, even though he gives a lot of trouble, it's like a troubled kid. He does follow his team. He is committed to his team. He always wants his team to do well. So he has the best of intentions. That's for sure. Best of intentions. So we can't fault him for that. We just wanted to tone it down a little bit. I am trying to compose this email and send it to myself so I can forward Cataract, who I'm sure is dying to tell me how frustrated he is about how we're playing. I assume that's what he wants to do, but I may be wrong. So let me try to get him this. Try to get him this stream. So I'm seeing highlights of the Trinidad game. So we have commented on both games or provide perspective on both games because obviously the scoreline matters. So the US did get a penalty in the last part of the game and scored for 3-0. Bad Bad tackle by the defender, Franklin. By the Trinidad defender. So I sent myself the email and it didn't turn on. That's not a good thing. Let me try again. So Cataract, I'm going to try to get you this. The link. If you're just watching us, and I'm trying to get Cataract the link, so bear with me. The Jamaica is leading St. Kitts Nevis by 2-0, and the US is leading Trinidad by 3-0. Cataract, I sent it to your Messenger account, so you should have it to be able to come on. Check your Messenger, Cataract. I sent it to them. So Cataract is saying, I'm not frustrated. The longer them skin boys take, okay, let me speak in English. He says, not frustrated. The longer the St. Kitts team, the longer they take to acquiesce, the worse the score will be. That's a contradiction, isn't it? If the team is at halftime, they're down 2. They're taking a long time to acquiesce, Cataract. And he's saying, what do we think is going to, have to translate the part for him? What do you think is going to happen when Whisper comes in the game? As in put it, we're going to think a lot when Whisper come on. It's interesting. Is Whisper going to get a game, Cataract? Cataract, I sent you the link in your Messenger so you can come on when you have an opportunity, when you have a chance. So, Whisper for the 60th minute. I think then, so the Ultra, as he's called himself, is going to join us. And he has joined us. Warren, I think you're in, Cataract, but I'm not seeing you. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm trying to add it to the stream. The stream doesn't want to add you for some reason.
Am I in the stream? Am I out the stream?
You're in the stream, but I thought you were at the game.
No, I couldn't make it. I'd be telling you guys, I told Mannings, I got it mixed up. I thought it was LA when they said, so I flew into LAX. And then July 4th weekend, I couldn't get to San Jose. It's a 6-hour drive, couldn't do it. So I reached as far as San Francisco.
So you went all the way to California to watch a game on TV?
That's what it is. I'm at my friends, but it's a big TV. It's a big TV. I'm not watching no small screen. Oh, boy.
I mean, wait.
Where am I? I'm not seeing myself. And you know that I'm
seeing you.
I'm a megalomaniac. I like to see myself.
Yeah, I know, but we don't need to see you. But we are seeing you. You don't need to see yourself. You know what you look like. At least I think you do.
Well, people like to see the latest Psycho Bunny. So this is the final round Psycho Bunny. Remember, 8 shirts I bought because we're going straight to the finals. Yep. Look, we would have wanted to smash and grab and beat them, but this is turning out to be a slow kind of death, just a death by 1,000 cuts. And when I think we spoke on a coach's desk, I think you were in the comment section when I said what effect the changes would have on the chemistry of the team. It would seem that they're trying to find themselves. So this is not the bunch of lads that started out against the United States. So the coaches decided to bring some players in, get them minutes. Jonathan Russell has paid off by scoring a goal, well-taken goal. And I'm going to say this so you could hear this. If Anthony Grant was on that field, he would not score that goal because Grant is not going nowhere near anybody's penalty box.
Wait, hold on. Right? Wait, back up.
So it's good to see. What I've noticed is that...
Cataract, 1 second. Something wrong with my headset. I can't hear you. You just made a comment. I'm confused. Can you repeat that comment, please? Because the fans didn't hear you.
I said...
The person in the comment section didn't hear you.
Right.
Please repeat the comment. Mm-hmm.
No, I said if Anthony Grant was on the field, as I've been calling for, he would not have scored that goal because he's not going into anybody's penalty box.
I was going to say, he couldn't run that far.
No, he can, but he's not doing it. But I've noticed that our CDMs are being adventurous. because both in the I think the Jordan game and this game where we got a penalty in the earlier match. Lambert was in the opposition penalty box, so I'm interested to see how much flexibility the coach has been giving his central midfielders to press forward, and how that will augur in the second round. Probably time now for Mikel Antonio come off the mark.
Yeah, one second, Ketera, 1 second. For those, if you've just joined the stream, as you come into the stream, just hit the like button, man. Come on, no, you don't pay feet, just hit the like button.
Don't ramp.
It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. Just hit it. Go ahead, Ketera. Sorry to interrupt you.
Right. So I'm saying the only thing now left is for Mikel Antonio to come off Brockie's ducks and get started. I felt sorry for Dexter Lembekisi because I think it was a really marginal call based on, because I'm watching, in LA area, I have to watch it with the Spanish. So I was watching the Spanish. I am watching the Spanish.
Wait. 1 second. So you're not like Gunner's boss, need to hear it in English or hear the sound so you can watch the game?
Yo hablo español, señor. Muy bueno.
Go ahead.
Muy bueno. I'm an international selector. Where you think
so you know Spanish? 2 words. So you know 2 words. You know very good. What else do you know? What was the other word you mentioned?
Pull up. Dame tu cosita.
No,
but I mean, we were expected to come and crush these teams. And I think you had said it, and I know Marlon on Coach's Desk had said it, that we need to be more ruthless when we come up against these teams. And Robert had called it. Robert actually called it that when we meet these minnows, we just need to break the neck, just be ruthless and just dominate. Because if we don't practice that, when we come against better opposition, it may not be as in our DNA, so to speak.
Right.
So I'm looking for a better second half. I am here waiting to see Whisper come on and see what the young man can do when given an extended time on the field. I would expect him to be the first change, and then probably Boza. But I would expect him to come on for Kahim Paris, or if he's gonna, because I think they still want to get the chemistry between Bailey and Gray. I think Bailey's having a much better game than he had in the first 2 games. He's passing and looking to use his teammates. Because if you look at that front line, and that's going to be my last comment, they are a team of equals. Mikel Antonio, Leon Bailey, Damari Gray, they are Premier League players, a team of equals, right? And you can trust them. And so I think the more you trust them, the weight is off his head now. He has scored a goal in the Gold Cup, and I'm looking forward to better things. It's funny that this should be the team that he was running and dribbling against. Don't you think so?
I thought he needed to do that early in the game when we weren't doing anything, we weren't penetrating, right? I thought he needed to create something one-on-one. But what has happened is, as the game has progressed, we're saying Kits is taking more risk because you get more comfortable, create more spacing behind, and we're getting space down the line, both down either line to get behind. You notice that Gray got behind, Antonio got behind, Bailey got behind. If they show some more patience, because Gray was offside on one play, which was going to be a goal. Bailey was offside, just barely offside if you look across. So if they exercise some more patience and get the balls down between the lines, doesn't have to be a 40-yard pass, could be a 25-yard pass. We can get behind them. What will happen then is they'll then have to do something else versus what they're doing now, which is having 6, 7, 8 men behind. And they're showing him low in the box, and he has a nice companion there with him, sitting beside him. I can't hear you, Keter. I can't hear you. You must be mute. You're mute. Either you're mute. You're not showing mute. You're muted, yes.
Boza is coming on. Daniel Johnson is coming on.
So I assume they're going to... that's interesting change. Let's see who comes on. Maybe the coach has realized that, you know what?
But I'm trying to think who's coming off.
I think Gray may be coming off. I think
Whoa.
Gray may be coming off. Maybe he has a knock or something.
Antonio is off. Antonio is
Antonio,
off.
no, Gray's on. Gray's on. Antonio may be on a minutes restriction, I assume. He's played a lot of football this
Yeah,
year. Maybe on a
but it's
minutes
a
restriction.
45-minute restriction. Wouldn't you want to give him the chance to get the
No, he
goals?
has played.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't need to score. He doesn't need to score.
Hardworking. There's something else that's popping in my head. What is your view about this box ball thing that FIFA do? Because I just see me like yard man a scatter out like ice and look for them. Then they're all part of the stadium. This look is it
It's not FIFA. It's Kronke.
losing money by going to these stadiums in these far-flung West blow where you get a sprinkling. I don't think you have 1,000 fans in there. I don't think you have 500. While if we were on the East Coast, it would have ram.
I think
That's something we have to talk to the General Secretary about. This.
Nah, I think it's a rehearsal for the 2026 World Cup, Ketara. I think that moving people around is probably a rehearsal for it because they're not playing the games in the same location like they did last. Remember you and I were in Florida?
Yes,
we're
in Florida.
The same location. They're not doing that. So they must be rehearsing for the 2026 World Cup. This must be a rehearsal.
But does it have an effect on the players flying?
Of course.
I know that St. Kitts also flew from the East Coast to the West Coast, so you can't say nay. But that's a foul. That's a foul on Joel Latimer.
The US is not doing a lot of flying.
Whoa!
You're ahead of me, Ketara.
Well, I'm ahead of you. Daniel Johnson with the ball in the middle of the park.
You're ahead of me. You're probably ahead of me by about what time do you have?
46 minutes and 6 seconds.
Yeah, you're ahead of me by about 15, 20 seconds. So you can commentate.
Okay. So the ball is now with Jamaica. We just had a chance that the keeper was able to kick away. And Jamaica retaining possession. Dexter Lembikisi winning a throw-in off of number 21, James. What's your impression of Romain Sawyer, who has Premier League experience with West Bromwich Albion? I think. Is it West Bromwich Albion he played for?
Which one is Sawyer? I don't see
the Dread.
Oh.
Yeah. He has Premier League experience. He has played with more than one Premier League club, and I'm certain he's in the Championship. Miscontrolled by Latimer turns the ball over to St. Kitts, and they try a long pass into the box, and that goes harmlessly out.
So Russell is off, actually. I'm surprised Russell is off.
So the changes were Daniel Johnson for Russell and Shamar for Antonio, because Damari Gray is still on.
Those are the changes. Yes, it's interesting that DJ has not started a game in this first round, has he?
No, I think what the coach is looking at, let me be honest, is that DJ 2026. I think DJ will be 32. So he will have this same sort of role if he that is a yellow card coming. Look here, there's an expensive Premier League ball in Mr. Roberts. He wiped out the Premier League bound Amari Bell.
He had murderous intentions. That's a yellow card.
Yeah, that is a nasty challenge. He didn't touch the ball. That's a dangerous challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, but he didn't touch it. He didn't touch the ball on him, man. I don't think he touched him.
No, he clipped him. He clipped just
barely. No, I think it was the bad intention. The ref gave him a yellow for bad intention. I don't think.
Oh, you can't get a yellow for intention. He clipped.
He get it for bad intention. Did he get hit? The player wasn't hurt. It's bad intention. I'm telling you. Ricardo Baggio says he thinks Latimer is a steal in midfield. He's played well. He's a very energetic player.
There goes drift. There goes drift. Oh, and there comes a goal. Put it in. Goal, Jamaica. Just like that.
We need more energy with the goal. Okay.
And that is the mission.
The ball, looking for a shot. Play the ball wide out to.
It's a goal. It's a goal.
Johnson into. Brilliant turn by.
It's a goal.
Deshaun Bernard. turn the defender on his right foot and place it in the corner of his left foot. Very good goal. Very good goal. So
We just
Jamaica
call it.
3,
We
US
just call him. We
Jamaica
call
3,
him. We call him Mr.
Jamaica 3 to
United.
US 3. Jamaica
So
3,
that,
US 3. So
so
they're
that's a
still leading
goal.
by 2 goals.
So that's a goal by Mr. United. But just look at Drift. Let's look at Drift. Just at Drift. Mashapina. Oh my! Whoa, 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 whoa! Does he remind you of John Stones by any chance?
No, no,
The way
no,
he carries the ball out
no,
of the way he
no.
carries the ball out of
Cataract?
defense.
Cataract?
No, I'm
No.
asking. I'm asking.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't remind me of
He,
Stones.
he doesn't
He
remind you.
doesn't remind
Okay.
me of Stones. No. Stones is
All
a
right.
different type of player. Stones wasn't the best defender at one point, you know.
No, he isn't
His
a
ability
good.
to play the ball for the defense is why he's recognized that way. And when he was at
Oh, here comes another
Everton,
chance. It looks like it's going to be another one. Fighting for the ball. Oh. So some over dribbling by Kahim Paris, and he ends up losing the ball. We're at minute 50 and 26 seconds. Looks like there's a delay with the East Coast feed.
yeah, I'm at 50 minutes. I'm at 50 minutes 20 seconds. Where
Okay,
are
so
you?
50 minutes 39 seconds.
So Spain dance currently too far behind. No, Spain dance. I came in front of my TV because I have to watch it on a stream, given my setup here. If I did, I wouldn't be able to watch it. I wouldn't be able to watch the game and be able to commentate on the game the way I am and talk to you guys. So I have to sit at a location.
And Leon Bailey fighting to win possession, and the ball is cleared out for a throw in. We see Whisper getting up and warming up. Intricate passing between Daniel Johnson and Leon Bailey and number 12, Damari Gray, back to Amari Bell. Intricate passing between Bell and Leon Bailey. Bell driving and giving the ball back to Leon Bailey. He's into the penalty box. Oh, the cross is straight into the midriff of the keeper. Would have expected him to do a little better, well, a lot better with that cross. Let me be clear. And Lambakisi.
I want to Bailey realize that his ability to play as a teammate, even at Aston Villa, because he does job at Villa too, puts him in much better light with his audience. Okay. Much better light. People prefer you to lose the ball passing it than lose the ball trying to beat someone. If you're just watching us, we're
so the ball that was with Damari Gray. He drifts. Damari Gray drifts, reaches the byline. He's going to drift past him. Drift past the defender. Sends it back to Amari Bell, who checks, goes inside, and passes it to Daniel Johnson. Short pass to Lati Badair, who sends it wide to Dexter Lembekisi, who cuts back. Ball finds Lati Badair again. Daniel Johnson sending it wide to Damari Gray on the left wing. Damari Gray on a foot race. And this is good. Oh. I think Reggae Boyz are turned up the thing now. But we lose the ball in a dangerous area to St. Kitts. He's driving down the left flank. And our defenders have recovered Lambakisi and Paris working in tandem. But St. Kitts still has the ball. Amari Bell reads that well and just intercepts the play. He's settling it down. Amari Bell passes the ball back to Mariappa. Mariappa to Bell. Bell with the pink boots.
So, Ketterak, you know that play that Deshaun just made, it was a better team. That's dangerous against us. Right?
Yes.
If you go for the ball there, it's the man on the ball. It can't be one can pass. Only one can pass. But somebody behind you, so it wouldn't be a red card. You can't afford against a good team to do that.
You are correct. Lembekisi passes the ball to Kahim Paris, who passes it back to Daniel Johnson, knocks it back to Kahim Paris wide. It's Lembekisi now going into a foot race. Lembekisi wins that foot race. Ooh, turns the defender. Ball sent into Kahim Paris, who comes out of the 18-yard box and fires a shot wide of the upright. That for all that work, that was a very, very poorly taken shot. Kahim Paris, he could have kept possession of the ball because Daniel Johnson was asking for it to be passed to him, and he slashes while at it and just doesn't get enough bend on it. He doesn't. It's high and wide. He doesn't get the ball to curl.
I don't think it's a terrible shot, actually. I
Oh,
think it was
Joel Latimer winning the ball in the midfield, as he has now become accustomed to doing. Ball pass back to Dexter Lembekisi, who sends it back to Deshaun Bernard. He's going to send that back. No, turns around and decides to do his little John Stones impression. Ball up to Kahim, to Boza. Okay, yep. He loses it out. Who's that losing the ball? Jamaica lose the ball and there's a foul committed by Kahim Paris. So Kahim Paris lost the ball and then committed the foul.
He just ran into trouble. Like, that's the one thing you don't see with Gray. So what Gray does, actually, when he's dribbling, he's also thinking.
He's thinking
about
Amari Bell cleans up.
Left. Yeah.
Amari Bell cleans up Williams.
Yeah.
But is it that he does this sneaking little thing that he does? I've seen it in both games when I was watching live. He looks up just a split second before he gets the ball, seems to survey the whole field, and has a mental picture of where people are going to be. Do you pick that up? They try a wild shot that goes high and wide.
You are that deductive to have that observation? I'm impressed.
No, all right, let me tell you. Let me be honest with you.
No, that's a good point you raised, because he does think football. That's the way I think about it. He thinks the game, right? And his awareness factor. He's aware of where he is on the field. He's aware of what mental picture of his play, his team. When he's dribbling, he's thinking about
racing down. Oh, this is going to be a goal. This has got to be a goal. This has got to be a goal. Bosa. Oh my word, Shamar.
So you're way ahead of me.
Shamar. Leon Bailey, I think, doing the hard work. And Shamar.
The defender blocked the shot, right? So, but he should score.
He should have scored.
He just take it and just put it in the corner. He rushed the shot. He had more times to score.
So what I see, we are playing with pace. And we are outpacing. Yes, he wasn't positioned correctly. And he's reaching behind him and trying to take the shot.
So like I said, the ball comes in the box. It's got played into him.
And you got to score.
Yeah,
you got to score there.
The
goal is open. The extra touch is he took a bad touch. And that bad touch allowed the defender to recover. Corner to Jamaica. Being taken by Leon Bailey. Latibadir, Deshaun Bernard, Boza all in the box. And it goes wide to number 16.
You know, Ketarak, if he drew that ball, Ketarak, if he faked the shot, he walk it in the goal.
Yes, that's true.
But he has to take it. He has to take it there.
No, I think it's the bad first touch that allowed the millisecond, a poor touch by Daniel Johnson that allows the ball to go out for a throw in. Come on, DJ, Rasta man. But what I'm saying is it's the poor touch that caused that defender to get the ball
was away from him, right? So that wouldn't be harsh. The ball was away from him. So he didn't want what he's trying to do is
driving at the heart of the St. Kittians, doing a 1-2 with Kahim Paris. Oh, sends balls. Oh, I'm thinking I'm saying too many oohs because we're making good plays turn into half chances, turn into muffed chances. And I'm wondering if this could have an effect on our seeding and standing and our passage to the finals.
Let's try scoring goals. We won't get as many chances against the lesser team. So, and just for everyone, in the 60th minute, US leading Trinidad by 3-0.
And so we are matching them. So that means that we are 3 goals short. We need to be 3 goals ahead of what the United States is doing. So there has to be a change. There's a player down injured. My man just call it. That so the player standing over him is Sawyer, right? The number 17 is done.
Yes.
So
Number
number
19
10,
is
that's
Sawyer.
Sawyer. And
Yeah.
he has Premier League experience. I'm gonna try and see if I can get the information. But Romain Sawyer is
A lot of St. Kitts players are from overseas, you know. Most of them are from overseas, in my understanding. And that's not surprising, given how well they're doing. So both games, the US versus Trinidad and Jamaica versus St. Kitts, the score in both games is 3-0 US and 3-0 Jamaica.
so Trinidad inadvertently doing Jamaica a big favor by
Neil says we need to connect those passes. I agree.
Keeping the scoreline respectable. So Romain Sawyer, as I thought, is a West Bromwich Albion player. So he has been in the Premiership when in the yo-yo years. Corey Burke.
That's a long time ago. That has to be 10 years ago, isn't it? West Brom was in the Premiership. Kedarak, I think you're freezing. Kedarak, look like you're not there. You must have your internet that you borrowed must have went out. So El Granjero is saying, does it matter? We need to stamp our authority. I agree. We want to see us play well. I don't think the outcome, because if you look at the other zone, I'm not sure any team is dominant in that zone or would cause us fear. It'd be much tougher competition than we're facing now. But we need to play well. We need to build up that pattern of play where we can impose our will in this game and future games, and that's important. Neo says, "Will Burke show up today and make an impact?" What's your view on Burke, Neo?
On Burke?
You're saying, yeah. What's your view on Burke?
I think he's in his last tournament for Jamaica, barring injuries.
You may be right on that. Yeah. Given what I'm hearing about potential additions, you may be right on that.
So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this broadly.
Burke is on. Who's he on for? He must be on for
Burke
Bailey.
is on.
Must be Bailey.
So Daniel Johnson in to Bell into Damari Gray, close control as he goes wide. And we know he's going to drift. He drifts past. Oh, God, watch drift. Come make him mash up in ya. Amari Bell fighting with the ball, loses it. Out. Daniel Johnson is in the middle. Latibadir and Johnson trying to close down the space that is there. St. Kitts knocking the ball around, but Deshaun Bernard intercepts. Daniel Johnson again getting the pass to Bozo, who sends it to Leon Bailey, who is going down the right to it. And Leon Bailey with the ball in the box, and he's got to get it to Lembekisi, who drives into the box and shoots. Daniel Johnson wins. Daniel Johnson stays with the ball. DJ with the ball in the penalty area, lays it off to Leon Bailey. Bailey sends it to Amari Bell on the left. Amari Bell shoots. Oh, just wide. Shaman Nicholson not happy with Bell, was hoping that the ball was just laid with a 2-foot pass to him. But Bell had only one intention, and his eyes lit up like Christmas.
So I have to agree with Nicholson. If Amari looks right and lay the ball into Nicholson, he's in on goal. So long as he's aware. See, they should play a game. If he just rolls it, he's in.
Oh, St. Kitts changing keepers. So, a rugby this brother come for play. Oh, what a rugby? Okay. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Understand from Brandon Cover, big up yourself, Brandon, that there was a 1-1 draw today for the under 23s after that 6-0 defeat the other day. Again, a goal in the dying 90th minute. We've got to stop doing that, though, Kronke.
We're good at that. We're experts. We give
It's
away
like
80 something against the US and we gave up 2 in the CAC tournament.
it's concentration.
Yeah.
Jamaica wins a throw in.
Paris came off. That's what Burr came on. That's what
Yeah,
Burr came on.
and here comes Amari Belly, sends it back. I think that's Mariapa.
Yeah. What is Burke's best attributes?
Pardon me? But I can't know if Burke is on. Burke has come on, and I haven't called his name once.
No, he's touched
I
the ball
don't
a
have the
couple of times.
commentary on, but I'm watching it. Daniel Johnson, intricate passing with Amari Bell. Oh, there goes Latimer there. A little loose with his touch from the former Manchester City player. But he wins it back. And hard tackled, wins the ball, goes to Daniel Johnson, sends it to Boza, who makes a errant pass. But I was saying earlier that Damari Gray is bringing a weapon with him. Him now trot alone. So look out at Nation League. St. Kitts whips the ball in a very good cross into the Jamaican penalty area, which is headed out. The ball again. Good save by the keeper. Jamaica flirting with danger. Adrian Mariapa remonstrating with his defenders. Do you agree? Do you think that Jamaica should do like St. Kitts did? Good save by Jamali Wait. Do you think that we should bring on Kanaya Boyce Clark in this dead rubber game?
I don't see why not, because we're not going to top the US, given the goal difference. So it's a good chance to put down Whisper and Boyce Clark. I don't see what's wrong with that. That was a good save by Wade, by the way, going on to his right.
Yes, it was very good save.
Not only did he save it, but recovering it. But there were 2 opposition players in the vicinity.
Lati Badir has picked up a knock. I see Deshaun Bernard going across there, but
I'm wondering why the coach sees in Burke. Is it that because he has a lot of energy?
Just look at Drift. Oh, man, you couldn't tell Deshaun Bernard is not a striker. Or, I know I said John Stones, or is he the new Anandilo, who can play defense and play up front? Because that nimble footwork, Kronke.
It was nimble. It was a good goal. That turn and kick, it's, yeah. Something like his mind was made up. Is it instinctive, or is it like he predetermined in his mind what he was going to do if he's in the box and he's...
I think this change is coming because Lati Badir has picked up a knock, or is he going to rejoin the play? But I would like to see Kanai Boyce Clark get a look in.
I'd like to see Whisper get a look.
Whisper. What is a cricket? This is a tea break?
Okay. No, it's hot. It's hot. You know, it's not the old days where we're archaic in our thinking and not realizing that these are people who are...
But what I noticed, there are a lot of...
taken care of.
Is Mexico played a game after this? Because I see a lot of Mexican fans in the stadium.
Who's playing it?
Yeah, United States have gone 4-0 up in the 68th minute.
Mexico playing Qatar today. Yeah.
So they're going to use this stadium, because I've seen a lot of the Mexican green shirts in the stands.
Apparently.
So I'm wondering.
Yeah, it's in Santa Clara, right? That's where they are?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it's filling up. But the US the US game is seems full. And the changes are coming on for the United States. Changes are coming on for Trinidad. Number 14 for the US is being substituted. That's Milutinovic and Vasquez coming on. Fox Sports 1 keeps replaying that wonderful Deshaun Bernard goal of keeper beaten at the near post by the pace. And And just for a moment, for those people who say players are not committed, look at the way Deshaun Bernard grabbed the Jamaican flag on his jersey, kissed it, and held it. You know, yeah.
I think we're past that stage now. I think people are on board because we're winning. When you win, everything goes away. All the bad
Okay.
vibes goes away. All the negative perspective go away. It's all about oneness, and that's a good thing.
So the ultras. Big up on yourself. Big up the man them in the chat. I can't really see the chat, but big up the man them. How many people we have in the chat? And hit the like button, please. Come on. You
I
know
think
do
they
the
had
right thing.
50 something earlier. We have about 30 something now, but they're not hitting the like button at all. I guess they don't like the stream. They're not hitting the like button. I think the
Okay.
button has a block. Their button has a block to it, so if they hit it, it's not coming on.
So the ball is turned over to St. Kitts, who are trying to play out from the back. Bailey leading Jamaica press. Daniel Johnson intercepts, but doesn't fully bring it under control. And St. Kitts has the ball advancing into the Jamaican final third. Deshaun Bernard, I didn't like that clearance. It was a weak clearance that went straight back to the Kittitian player. Against a better opposition, that could have been fatal. Leon Bailey fighting.
It was a bad pass by DJ. The ball was played to DJ, and he made a bad pass to try to get it back to him.
Ken Kitts with a long raking ball, finding number 20 on the left wing, who attempts to find his number 8, but hustling and bustling and hurrying is the man they call African, aka Dexter Lembikisi. Oh, he's beaten. All ends up, but Deshaun Bernard kicks that into row Z. No nonsense central defender. Product of the Manchester United academy system. He'll be looking for a club. Have you heard that? I was reading the papers today from England that there's a bidding war has begun on Damari Gray. Fulham has put in a bid for Damari Gray.
So I think there's about 2 or 3 opportunities for him.
Yes,
one from the Middle East, and
one from Saudi Arabia. Yes, and 2 from the Premier League. And I'm not sure where the one came from, but Fulham apparently have tabled a bid, somewhere in the region of 15 million, and expect him to replace William. So there,
William was a free agent.
And what goal by Daniel DJ Johnson.
So the Burke is steaming down the wing, looking inside, play the ball to the keeper who's a rugby player. So he fumbled it and right in the path of Daniel Johnson. He's a rugby player. This is actually football, and that was very obvious. The difference between a wait and this keeper, because Wait blocked a shot, very good stop, and kept the ball within his reach. This keeper
so DJ actually won the ball, turning it over, hurrying, and so actually Corey Burke will get an assist because his shot was not dealt with, and Daniel Johnson with the left-footed finish. I would have that goal already. Number 12. Damari Gray that goal. Watch, Damari Gray want a goal, you know. The man reached the net.
I don't know who Brooks crosses that ball.
It's a long raking cross to the number 22, faces up to Lembikisi. Lembikisi reads and snuffs out the danger and puts it into touch. Early throw by St. Kitts, and a little room in the midfield to operate. I don't like how the midfield is looking. Daniel Johnson, whoa. I think we're operating with a single pivot with Lati Badir.
Hey, Dwight, nobody knock out Jamaica money, but the 50 million Jamaican dollars. Nobody knock out Jamaica 50 million.
Chippy wins ahead and sends it on to Boza. Boza is ahead. Boza drives into the box. Boza. Oh, this has got to be a goal. Corey Burke, if you don't score, and he scores. And you can feel the weight come off the shoulder of Corey Burke.
That's a good goal, actually. So that's 5.
Big up
Goals are
Lady
not piling up.
Opal, straight out. Big up Lady Opal, straight out of Tampa. Uh, who is there representing the Ultras? And I think my man Henry is there. So the Ultras are represented, man. But that was I'm got to give Leon Bailey the credit for winning the header, being determined. Boza wasn't a good ball in, but Corey Burke doing what we have asked, being clinical in front of goal, the number 9.
Bailey also made a pass to Nicholson.
And you can see you can see the weight come off of his shoulder. There are tears of joy.
Who was biggest passing that ball to?
Pardon me? I don't know.
There was no one there to receive the ball. Where he passed it, there was no one there to receive the ball.
So Jamaica goes 5-0 up. Let's get some goals in here. Come on, lads. Damari Gray, get on the score sheet. Leon Bailey, get on the score sheet. The man them just get on the score sheet. Let's rack up these numbers. Let's get to the domino score first. The 6 love, and then we move. That's Corey Burke winning the header. The ball being won by Leon Bailey, then cleaned up by Lembe. The one by Lembekisi and cleaned up by Deshaun Bernard.
But you know that none of the front 3 have scored, right?
Yes, Daniel Johnson wins in the midfield, and the ball goes to Corey Burke, who tries to lay it through, and it goes out for Jamaican throw. Williams from St. Kitts not able to get it. But I see those green shirts look like they might be Mexicans.
Yeah, no, it's Mexico. Mexico's playing Qatar.
Yeah, but is that Corey Burke losing the ball really, really poorly, and Jamaica a spot a bother, Lembekis clearing in, Daniel Johnson intercepting, and there's a foul on Dishon Bernard, a hard foul. Coach Halgrimson is telling them to look at the time and get on with the game. So Coach Halgrimson is not as cool as I am, Kronke.
So why does he put Whisper in the game?
So the player steps on the instep of Deshaun Bernard, stamping, and that player is Lewis, and he goes into the referee's book. I think if we were running at them, one of these Kittians will get a red card, a second yellow and sent off. But the ball goes forward now.
That's a bad tackle. That's not a good tackle.
It's headed out by St. Kitts. They're being harried. They try to get it away. It beat Corey Burke. And goes wide to the Kitchen number 7, who comes face to face with Amari Bell, passes the ball into the box, and Jesus Christ, don't let it score. Whoa. Oh my. Wow. One thing I say about St. Kitts, though, they've created more chances than Trinidad created.
Yeah.
So St. Kitts have come here to
play for the game. Chance, but that's not good for us, though, to see a team.
So Amari Bell blocks. Amari Bell blocks the shot, and Romain Sawyers is now at Swansea in the Championship. Kronke. Okay. He transferred this season, but he was at West Brom up to last season.
Okay.
And he's played at least 2 seasons in the Premier League with West Brom. They've gone up and gone back down. A bustling midfielder, ball sent forward. Oh, look at the Mari Grace control. Lord of mercy, drift. Oh, Drift sends the ball to Chippy, number 4. Oh, Bell tries an intricate cross into the box. That's Roberts, the number 2, meets with his head and sends it out. How would you rate the performance of Amari Bell in this game and in the United States game? He wasn't in the Trinidad game.
He's just been okay. He's been okay.
Right.
It's not like when I see Greg Lee playing, and I get Greg is physical and robust and running down the ring, and I don't see that Amari. He's probably a more controlled player, but I don't think he's been exceptional. Especially
more controlled player.
Premier League next year.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Ball by Boza shoots, and it's another corner coming off the Kittians. No, yes, Bosa.
He should take up Bailey or Gray. Come on, coach, make a decision. We need to see Whisper.
Yeah, we should see Whisper. And
I'd rather see
this,
Whisper than see Burke, for example. I mean,
and this rugby boy, this rugby brother, yeah, need to take up some more balls out of the goal as we go towards this 80th minute. And it's What is Bosa waiting on? The ball comes into the 6-yard box. Bosa pulls out of swinging his leg, and the Kittian defender kicks it out for a pass.
no, he missed. No, the ball bounced up on him. That was a tough one.
Oh, so I've seen it wrong. Oh, quickly taking.
Yeah. The ball bounced up. He didn't get a chance to bring it down.
Goal.
I think you beat yourself, Cataract. Oh no,
it goes wide. Now we're getting back into this wasteful business, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy. That's a clear free header. You've got to get that on target. You tell me if I'm wrong. I'm willing to listen to you.
No, I think Bosa has double vision. I think he has double vision. No, the ball went on goal after. The keeper saved it, but he needs to put the ball in the corner. He headed it down. It's not a bad decision. But no, the keeper saved it.
The poor corner that eludes everyone. And here comes the whispering death. Why is he taking off Demarai Gray? And Kanaya Boys Clark. Cataract has called it. Stan Kronke.
Yes.
Bow down.
He's putting on the youngsters. He give the youngsters a taste.
Bow down to the rock. 10 minutes. Yeah, man. Demarai Gray looks upset. He looks like he wants to play 90 minutes. He's loving international football.
He's not enjoying being taken off.
He does not enjoy being taken off. And here's the one that people said was ducking. You know, we must not say these things about these young men.
Cataract. We have moved on.
Because I heard it again. And I just want to say that we've had a committed player.
One-off situation, but we moved on.
Okay.
The way it says
harrying the ball is Daniel Johnson, and the ball is one. Amari Bell is carrying it. Oh, Bell is wiped out by the Kittians, and that's got to be a card. And DJ, I look for mash up a boy. DJ, now take the check. Hey, the chat to me. Well, the rest get hot-head. The rest get hot. Daniel Johnson being the enforcer. Well, miracles do happen. He wipes out Amari Bell, and Daniel Johnson is not happy and takes on the role of the enforcer. I said, boy.
He went for the ball, but he went in hard. He went for the ball.
That's Birmingham badness. He's
right? Cleaning out everything.
No, but I like the passion and I like the camaraderie. Remember we've been speaking about the camaraderie, Kronke?
Yeah.
And players out there seem to willing to fight for each other. And that for me is a good sign. What the man am I saying in that chat? In the meantime,
here's one of the chat. I said, bros, need to circle down. I said, Thomas spot. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? He's soft.
Mercy. So the referee is going to look, the VAR is going to look, possible red card?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a red card. He hit the ball. He went for the ball. I don't think it's a red card.
Let's have a red card so we can just run riot.
It may be because he's actually go to the monitor. Is it Daniel Johnson going to get a red card because he may have done something?
No. They're looking at the challenge. They're looking at the challenge. It's high.
I know what I'm saying. Was there after? Was there?
No, he didn't touch him. He flashed the hand off.
No, he hit the ball first. I don't think that's a red. What kind of football we playing? See,
get him off the field,
ref. His leg went out.
Get him off the field. Get him off the field, ref.
Not a red card.
Get him off.
Football has gotten soft. Football is like basketball. It's gotten soft.
Get him off. Get him off. Get him off.
I disagree with sending to the ball.
Amari Bell, the problem.
It's not a red card. He hit the ball and his
It's a
foot got
red card.
moved
Get him
up.
off, ref.
No, no,
The
it
voice
isn't.
of the ultra said, off, 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 off. Yeah. Hold on, let me see where I'm going. Nothing?
It's not a red. The ref is saying, "Are you for real, VAR?" I don't agree with you. That's what the ref is saying. If he does that sign, then it's trouble. He did the sign. Nothing.
So
I agree.
we
It's
need a
not.
goal from Whisper,
That's not a
and
red.
then
That's not a red. Come on. We're playing football here. We're not playing netball. It's not dandy shandy. We're playing football. When he hit the
Whisper.
ball and his foot went up and he hit the ball, it's not a red card.
Whisper's hungry for the pass. I don't know why Maribel is taking long, gets the ball to Corey Burke, who sends it out off a Kittian player. It's another throw in. Bell, let's see if we get this long into the. I miss Rupert. Rupert, anyway, there, prayers to the wife, that she pulls through on the kid, but we miss those long throws from Rupert into the box, and it goes into the box, and it's won by St. Kitts. With those long throws, Amari is not as accurate as Ethan Pinnock. I've noticed
No,
that.
that was not a bad throw. That was not a bad throw, actually.
No, it wasn't a bad throw, but when Pinnock sends launches those throws in, 1-2 between, and that's a foul on Lati Badir by Hazel, the number 10. Right
So
now, looking like that.
Somebody's drawing a card at you that says, Kronke, you didn't tell Cataract about the big show you and Andre did last night.
The what?
The show that myself and Andre did last night. That's what the person's saying.
What? What about the show?
They're saying
look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Oh, Bozo.
They do not comparison
Bozo
between
being Bozo. Your numbers are less than when Cataract does the show. Your numbers are less than when Cataract does the show. You ain't even reach 1,000 views. So there you go. Daniel
they're
Johnson,
saying it's
well
quality
struck.
over quantity. They say it's quality over quantity. That's what they're saying.
The man I had a one by Lati Badir in the central midfield, but the ball falls kindly to the right wing of St. Kitts as they try to make something down the right wing. Ball goes into number 10, Hazel, but he is hazeled. We don't want to go. We need to keep a clean sheet. That much we do. Lati Badir gets the ball out, but it goes as far as the number 8 from St. Kitts, who really believes he's trying out for that would be the Raiders. But the Raiders have left LA, so I don't know who he's trying out for. But that's a good free, what do you call it again? Field goal.
It was a field goal.
Daniel Johnson with the ball, keeping possession, getting it off to Bell. Bell having to turn back. That would be getting it to Whisper, or Whisper leg of the man. Oh, here comes the whispering death. Whisper gets it wide to Corey Burke. Corey Burke overhits it, and Lord have mercy. What you do with the youth ball?
What a turn by Whisper. That's
yes.
A brilliant turn.
Just dismiss the player.
And a brilliant ball to Corey Burke, too.
Burke, and what does Corey Burke do with the ball?
I'm sorry. There's no way Burke can play over Whisper. I'm sorry. I know the kid is young, and the coach is trying to blend him in slowly but surely. But the kid is quality.
Jamaica with the ball, no foul. But the Whisper seems to be Damari Gray light. You don't really miss Damari because they do the same thing. They just dismiss players. And
now, what I like about Whisper, he makes a pass when he beats a player. He's looking for the pass. He's beating you, but he's still looking for the pass. He's not just trying to dribble for dribble's sake.
St. Kitts knocking the ball around, getting it to the left wing, still keeping possession. About 6 passes, 7 passes. They've gotten the 8th pass, but in comes a man called Manu. Mr. United wins the ball again. Good defensive instincts. Joey Latibadir sending the ball wide to Lembekisi. Lembekisi passing up to knocking a quick 1-2 with Daniel Johnson. DJ knocks the 1-2 with, who is that? With Leon Bailey? Did Leon Bailey take note from behind? So let's see in this last few minutes if what Craig Buckler told us would come through, that Leon Bailey and Whisper have some telepathic thing. What's the ref looking at? I don't know. Coach Charlie Gimson pacing down the line.
He's saying he needs more goals, and the goals are not coming.
Yes, we just seem to be messing around and not the Whisper again. Oh, good close control. Whisper, aka the Mari Gray 2. Whisper to Shamar Nicholson. Oh, for God's sake. Boza, did you sneak a bottle of that Russian stuff with you?
So
You know what? No, I'm getting upset now because the young lad has made 2 brilliant plays, and the senior strikers have muffed it. So here he is on his own. Whisper again. Is that Whisper? Yes. Oh God. Oh Lord. Oh. Ball to Lembekisi. Lembekisi going. Ooh, bit of a hard challenge, but ball back by Bernard wins that, and Kittition players balling. We need at least make it a 6, love, brother. 6 minutes extra time. Let's get 2 goals in these 6 minutes. Kittition players balling, crying for his mommy.
yeah, he's injured. He's down.
He injured
So
himself.
we are a minute and a half into overtime, into extra time, I should say, not overtime.
Yeah, it's extra time, and there's a 6 minutes of extra time, and there will be additional extra time because we've now had an injury. And I would want Jamaica to score 2 goals, or at least one to score 2. But I don't know.
I think Whisper has to be the first forward change off the bench. I don't think it should be Boza. I don't think it should be Burke. I don't think it should be Karen Paris. It should be Whisper. It's very obvious. There's a difference in the quality of the players when you see them play. I know it's a small sample size, but trust me, there's a difference.
It's a big sample size. Remember that we have Jordan in the Qatar game?
No, I'm talking about for Whisper. So he played a couple of games in Jamaica, and then he's been playing.
No, but he played in Qatar against Qatar and Jordan.
He did.
So we have a big enough sample size.
Yeah. No, he's a quality player. He's a quality player.
He's a quality player. At his age. Let me tell you, I want to say something else about young Whisper. Going through my regular Sunday routine, the Chelsea website and the Chelsea news were all abuzz, over 1,000 comments on the video posted about Whisper's goal. So everybody in the Jamaican team is exciting in the international British press. There's a fight between Amari Bell and the number 7, but the ball goes off of Bell. Marga, man, you can't come up against. That's Williams. Marga looking player. Need some dumpling. Can't go running a Amari Bell. And you light like feather. So Robertson, number 2. The right, I think he might be the right back, trying to launch the ball into the Jamaican penalty area. And he just does that. Gets the ball in, but it's...
I wonder if Boza's play isn't being frustrated with the fact that he's not starting. Because he hasn't looked good at him.
No, but you can't start if you are do them thing, brother. Here comes on Lewis, aka Crybaby, with his hand bandaged. Number 7 tries to get a ball in and it goes far. Ooh, Hazel gets the ball, puts it wide. Come, Kanaya Boyce Clark cleans up and launches a speedy attack at the foot of Whisper, who drives it forward. They're not reading Whisper. They're not on the same page. Whoa. Whoa. We're trying to give St. Kitts a goal? Seriously? Seriously? Bailey with the ball. And we're trying to get the ball to the keeper. Boyce Clark sends it out accurately to Boza. Boza dismisses the player. Leon Bailey with the ball, a little heavy first touch, but gets it into Latibadir, who is always available. We have to say that. And I'm going to have to put my phone in charge. Whisper comes in. Lembekisi cleans up, working hard for his young colleague. 1-2 between next. Oh, Daniel Johnson with the ball at the edge of the 18-yard gets it to Whisper. And is this, shot is charged down. Whisper with the ball again, and he is running into the box. Whisper sends it in. What has Boza done with Whisper's ball? We have to have a discussion, Sam. This is not funny. I'm going into the dark. I don't know what's happening. Can you tell me, please?
He was stretching. He was stretching. Yeah, that was a ball, but Whisper looks good actually. Skid is very, very skillful. Give me the ball, flip the ball in the box, and Boza was stretching. I think Boza had to show more composure. Frankly, he could have passed.
No, but if he had left it, Corey Burke was right behind.
Burke, he should have been nudged it, Corey Burke. Yeah, he's stretching. He's desperate to score. That's what it is.
Boyce Clark comes out and wins and launches the ball forward. And the referee calls it off, and Jamaica doesn't get the dominant score. 5-0 Jamaica. Goals by... What is Boza arguing about? What's the ultra them there? What's Boza arguing about, though? Leon Bailey. So goals by Corey Burke. I saw that goal. Goal by Kaheem Paris. A wonderful goal.
Kaheem Paris scored?
Yes. Isn't it Kaheem who scored the first goal?
That was an own goal.
Oh, so that would have been an assist for Kaheem Paris. I definitely saw
US beat Trinidad and
ended 6-0.
Identical scores. Yeah, identical scores.
No. It's Trinidad has conceded a very late goal. It's 6-0.
That's what I'm saying. So identical scores, they beat St. Kitts 6-2, right?
Oh, they beat St. Kitts 6. Yes. So we can officially tell Andre that his side no good, and you don't have to
Andre
be
went to the game.
diplomatic.
Andre went to the game. He went to the game.
You don't have to be diplomatic. Andre hid me out in St. Louis. He hid. Okay. So Jamaica and the USA advancing. The USA tops the group. Stan, any comments on, because you know me an ultra, but let's focus on Jamaica. But based on your broader knowledge of what's happening in the Gold Cup, who are the likely opponents in Group D? Because Group A plays Group D, right? So we would play the winner of Group D.
Yes.
And who is that right now?
We don't know who that is yet.
No, but who's on top right now? Is that Guadeloupe?
There were like 3 teams right there. I'll pull that up. I know Canada was there.
Canada's there.
Was it Guatemala? Guadeloupe? Was there Guatemala too? I wasn't mixing up a team, but Canada didn't look that good.
So do a check and come back to us.
Guadeloupe, Guatemala, Canada. They all played 2. Canada has 2 draws, by the way.
So Canada's on 2 points.
2 points, and Guatemala and Guadeloupe are on 4 points.
Guatemala and Guadeloupe are on 4 points. So we could have the first shock exit, the World Cup.
No, they're gonna beat Cuba, so it won't be anything. It won't be anything. It depends. If you have a draw,
but if they beat Cuba, they would get to 5 points, And
Right.
if Guatemala and Guadeloupe draw, they would be
They
on
get the
5 points.
£5.
And then
If it goes on to
they
goal,
would with goal difference, and then
yes.
if it goes to head, or is it cards?
I don't know what it is actually. It's a good question. It's a good question actually. That I need to find out.
Because I know somebody told me something about it having cards. I'm gonna man them in the chat.
Cards may come down after goal. You're gonna go down to maybe corners or cards. If the goal difference, goal average thing gets to a certain point, I'm sure actually. So not sure
So
what the deciders are. What
where's
the
Fresh God?
tiebreakers are.
Fresh God in that chat? Because Fresh God normally have them information there for you.
Fresh
Rent
God was
man.
there earlier. He probably left. It looked like he left actually.
He's moonlighting somewhere else.
Yes, he was here, but I think he left. He probably went to another stream. I'm sure he'll come
So
back for a post-game analysis.
how did the man them feel about this? How did the man them feel about this? And you're ready with your post game analysis, Stan? What say
We're only
you?
doing the stream. We're not going out.
Pardon me?
In terms of we're only staying on the stream. We're gonna
Yes,
conclude
yes.
after this and that. So look, we did what we needed to do, frankly. Meaning we came in trying to make the second round. Would have loved to have won the zone, but that didn't materialize. And we have to understand that the U.S. we didn't take our chances, frankly. Okay, if we took our chance against Trinidad, they would have gotten about 8. And in fact, Trinidad would have gotten more than St. Kitts got if we took our chances. I think, frankly, St. Kitts may have been a better opponent than Trinidad. Trinidad has some problems. They have a lot to work on as a football nation because they have not been doing well. But yeah, none of the top 3 scored today, which is interesting. And the goals were scored by an own goal. Russell, DJ Burke, and Bernard scored a very good goal. We were a little bit scrappy today, actually. So if I took a step back and think about the game holistically, it wasn't a great performance, right? We were by a much better team, much better quality team, but we should have ran St. Kitts off the park, and it took us a long time to get the first goal and to get the second goal. And after that, the game opened up, but we should have had a better game. It wasn't our best effort. But we don't know who will play next, given the other group is 3 teams out of the 4 can advance. And frankly, it was the same thing today. Because Trinidad could have advanced. They beat the U.S. And we beat St. Kitts. But that didn't materialize. In fact, Trinidad rolled over based on their performance. It was not a good performance by Trinidad. They do have some problems with the footballing nation. If they have any hope of trying to make World Cup in 2026, they have to have a metamorphosis and a total revolutionizing their program because, frankly, they have been poor. Cataract, you still with us? Or are you sleeping?
Yes, no, I am with you. I'm looking at the U.S. goals are being shown on the Spanish channel now. They're re-showing the U.S. goals.
Were they quality goals?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, man, he dismisses the keeper, dismisses the player. They're having a laugh. They're having a laugh. Number 11 driving at them, dismissing the keeper, dismissing the last defender, 2 man on them bottom, and then guide the ball into the net the 79th minute. What I noticed about the US though, they took 15 minutes to score their first goal, which is pretty much the same time they took to score against I think St. Kitts. They scored in 11th minute. We did not score early. That's the difference. And so we ended up 3 goals short. The USA tops the group with a plus 11 goal difference, and we have a plus 8 goal difference.
Right. So I assume that Pinnock there's a view that Pinnock may join the team. I think I heard Ian Campbell saying that. I don't know where he got his intelligence from. I don't have that information yet.
I don't know.
But if he does, it'll be a good addition between him and Lowe playing center half. Maybe a stronger team that we have, at least defensively. I still think the middle is a struggle for us.
So how do you justify that with Deshaun Bernard um, playing so well?
It's 2 into 3 cataract. Only two can play.
Yes.
And if you look at the US game, Lowe played extremely well. In fact, Lowe has been one of the better players for Jamaica in this tournament. So Lowe is not going to go on the bench. And Pinnock is an automatic starter. Unless people believe that he's not ready because, you know what, he has been playing any football. So, and if he's not playing any football, then you may, but you're in a knockout competition. And if you don't play him or we give up soft goals, you will never hear the end of it. That you have a Premier League starter, one of the better defenders of the Premier League, who has played well against the best teams in the world, including the Man Cities of the world, scored in the last game of the season against Man City, and you bench him and you lose. That would not go over well with the public. Now, if you play him and he plays poorly, that may not go over well either. So it's a catch-22. They would say, why you play him? He wasn't in shape. He hasn't played the ball in the last 3-4 weeks. I don't care what his name is. It's a name thing. You know how the conversation will go, right? It depends on outcome. It's all about outcome. Outcome. Yes.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It's all about outcome.
I think I would expect to see him in around the semifinals. If he were to come, even to ensure that we have, if we go into a extra time, that we're able to shore up the defense if that's what we want to do and play out the penalties.
I don't think he should come. It's a long journey. We're halfway through the competition. It's like a Benzema with France at the World Cup. When he could have played and they decided not to, they decided not to bring him to the squad. I think we're too far along and the first round is down. Let him stay with his family who needs him. I don't think he should come. We all want him here because it helps. But when it comes to family, I just believe that you have to put family first. I'm sorry. No matter how much we would want him here. Now, if he wants to play, that's his decision. But I think he's got to think first about his family and then think about the national team. Be strong is saying it's a lose-lose, but only if you lose. I like that. It's a lose-lose, only if you lose. Yeah,
It's a what?
Lose. It's a lose-lose, but only if you lose.
Okay. So
any decision you make, you have to win to justify it.
Right. So my overall impression, if we're doing our post-game analysis, is that the Reggae Boyz did what they had to do to qualify. They won the game. Is this Alexis Ilala? Is this Alexi Ilala?
Yeah, he's one of the studio analysts.
I hope you remember Walter Boyden and Andy Lowe. They did you bad. You remember the game in Washington? That wasn't Lala's finest moment.
Bless up, Pagan. Thanks for joining us.
Right.
We're doing the post-game analysis of the U.S. versus St. Kitts.
No, Jamaica versus St. Kitts. Jamaica versus St. Kitts.
I'm sorry. That's one of those games where you're just like, okay, whatever. Jamaica versus St. Kitts. That's correct. Jamaica won by 5-0. Unfortunately, the U.S. won by 6-0. So they have won the zone and we go on to play the second place team
in Group
D. And we have no idea who that is. It's going to be between Guatemala, Guadeloupe, and Canada. Right now, Canada's in the third spot. But given the games coming up, I expect Canada to advance because I'm sure they're going to put a whopping on Cuba.
So I'm looking at this here, right? They have something called attack momentum. And it took Trinidad up to about the 60th minute to get any attacking momentum whatsoever. It was in the 60th minute that they put together their first attack. Wow.
We didn't have a lot of attack against the U.S. anyway, no. That's the U.S. We didn't have a lot of attack against the U.S.
No, I think they did as the home team, but then we did have what would I say? Not talking about the penalty, but we had other chances to put the game to bed.
No, we didn't.
The U.S. had a few more chances. Yes, we did.
We created no chance of open play against the U.S.
What are you talking about?
Penalty, and we created no chance of open play against the U.S.
I'm going to look back when the ball went in the side netting.
That's not which chance was that? I don't remember one chance against the US from open play. Yes, we had the penalty. Yes, we had the rebound because we got a penalty from Lambert getting fouled in the box. Right, the guy kicked him in the chest, and then we had the first goal that was scored. But we didn't get creating a chance from open play. I mean, the first goal was a set piece. The first goal was a set piece.
The first goal was a set piece. Yes.
We created no open play, no chance from open play.
But those are legitimate goals, sir. You're talking like those goals don't count.
No.
You don't get half a goal for them.
Go to that point. I said no chances from open play.
And I'm going to look back
from open play. They created about 3 or 4 chances from open play. We created none.
They did, including a magnificent double save by Andre Blake. So overall, I would say Jamaica did what it came to do. They led far enough that the coach was able to bring on Kronke Boyz Clark. So every player has seen minutes in the Gold Cup. So Kronke Boyz Clark has his first senior cap. And remember, if he gets 3 caps, then he cannot change allegiance after. And I think the coach was anxious to get him on the field in a Jamaican uniform. He did fairly well, actually. He came out and snuffed out a danger that was down the left side. Yes. And actually, St. Kitts were a little more threatening when he was in goal. His delivery, I've always been impressed with his delivery. When he made that interception, he sent a forward pass, or what you call a long pass, that landed in the chest of Boza. You know, so he really, I like his delivery, but there were no shots on goal for us to see his shot stopping ability. So let me ask you now, and ask the man in the chat, and you can monitor the chat. I know who's the man of the match.
That's a really good question. You know, I hadn't thought about it, but normally that's the first that comes to mind. I would say Bailey, actually. I thought Bailey was really good in the first half. It petered out in the second half, but you think about overall, think about every player. Gray had a decent game. Antonio wasn't in the game that much. I think Bailey, actually, in the first half was really playing well, was a differentiator. In the second half, you couldn't really pick a player who was a differentiator. But Bernard also wasn't too bad. If you look at his goal and his defensive work and his cover. But I think Bailey, to me, it's Bailey or Bernard is one of those two. In fact, could be Coleman in the match. I thought Bailey was good in the first half, petered out second half, but Bernard was good throughout and scored a really good goal. So the goal may be that differentiator, but it could have been Bailey or Bernard, one of the two.
So the man them in the chat, man, and the rolling.
So they're saying. So here I'm saying. So Raheem is saying Bailey. Granjero is saying Bernard. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Lulu say Russell. Duckland say Bailey initially started to play. Chris Smith says Bernard. King Jav says Bailey. I think Bailey started well, but you didn't see him as much second half. I thought Bernard was consistent throughout the match, and he got better as the match progressed, and he scored a brilliant goal, frankly. Probably the best goal of the game. So it's a tough one. Because Bailey started really well, and actually, he was playing people in, which he wasn't doing in previous game. He was giving up opportunity when he could have tried to score. If he was trying to score, he probably would have scored a couple. If he was actually trying to score. So I think the the sentiment may go to Bailey, but it's between Bernard and Bailey.
So my vote is for Dishon Bernard. A very close one. I think from what I saw in the first half, Liam Bailey was certainly the player cut above everybody else in the field. But I don't know if fitness got the better of him, but he seemed to peter out. But I like the fact also in the second half, he seemed to be tracking back and doing a bit of defensive work. I have to give him that. And so it will be a close call. But I think the goal from Dishon Bernard and the fact that we have kept the first clean sheet in a while, apart from the 0-0 against Trinidad in Montego Bay, that Deshaun Bernard for me earns my man of the match.
Okay, so Chris Smith is asking, what do you think about Bernard?
What I think about Bernard, Mr. United. I think he is an assured defender, um, very commanding. It, it's strange because I didn't see Mariappa having to do much defensive work. It just always seemed to be Bernard.
But that's every game for Mariappa, by the way.
Pardon me?
When Low play with Mariappa, it's the same thing. You don't see Mariappa. When Low and Mariappa play, you don't see Mariappa. It's a true. It's not knocking at Mariappa. Maybe he's just so calm and collective, and he's directing traffic. But when Low play with Mariappa, we always sees Low. When Bernard play with Mariappa, always sees is Bernard actually, which is interesting.
So I would have to say,
I'm also trying to keep it simple. He tried to keep it simple also.
Yeah, he does. It's always a concern when your front three, that is the much vaunted, let me put that, the much vaunted height front three of Bailey, Antonio, and Gray, an all Premier League attack, doesn't produce a goal. That must not happen again. There's also
there were two chances created, right? There was the one where Gray was offside, which went to the goal. There was one where Bailey was offside, but he gave it to Lambakisa. But you're right.
It would have been Lambakisa's goal. It would have been Lambakisa's goal.
No, but if Bailey would have given it to him, because Bailey could have taken the shot, right? He was in front of goal. He decided not to try to score, frankly. He was in a good position to score. He just gave it up.
Okay.
Remember, he was in on goal, and then Lambakisa came around on the left. So he probably should have taken the shot himself, but it was unselfish, which is what everyone wants him to be, and which he's showing more of. My view on Bernard is this. So one second, Cataract. I'll say,
go ahead.
When I saw Bernard play his first game in Austria, I thought he was a little bit wild. I think he has settled down. He's now getting into the flow. He's now feeling a part of the team. Because when you're new to a new team, you're trying to prove yourself, right? I think he's also a very offensive-minded center-back, which I find interesting. I'm not sure if you realize that. He finds himself in the box a couple of times when he's not in a set-piece situation, which is rare for a center-back to be. In fact, I'm not sure I like that for my center-back, frankly, unless it's a set-piece. So I don't know what he's doing in the box sometimes when we are attacking. But having said that, he looks like he knows his way around the box, which is good. So with a set piece and or other plays, he seems to get forward quite a bit. That means he has energy. That means he's thinking like he wants to put the opposition away, which I always appreciate in a player. And he's pretty mobile actually. So I think he's settled in really good. And the coach trusts him, which is good. And I'd like to see more of him actually to draw a lot of sample size would be good.
So. I can't argue with anything that you've said, Stan, which is very rare. But what I would say is, when I saw him in the box, you know what I'm saying? I'll go rug back.
That too. Dr. saying, go ahead, sorry.
Raps, I miss a lot of God. I think I would have minded being offensive minded if it was him partnering Damian Lowe.
Right.
But with Babs, my heart was in my mouth. There's another player I want to single out. And I want to ask you and the man in the chat, involved with yourself. Daniel Johnson. He came on and seemed to be everywhere, buzzing in the midfield, being a part of everything, winning balls back, playing 1-2s, whether it was with Lembekisi or if it was Amari Bell. And he found himself and got a goal in the score sheet. Wasn't hype about his goal, just take it like a big man. Yeah, I say it, has he put Bobby Reed to the bench in the next game?
No, I don't see that. I think Bobby Reed's work rate is exceptional. I think he has offensive capability. He has great goals in him. He just doesn't have enough of them in him. And he also, at this level, he doesn't have any trickery in his armory to get away from players. But I think Bobby Reed will play. I think he has probably a knock. He came out the last game. He's going to start the next game. DJ to me looks a little bit. I don't know what it is. I am not convinced by DJ actually. Even though he's buzzing around today, I'm not convinced. And I think the coach probably seen something in training. I think the coach is playing the team based on a lot of it by training actually. I said Burke's probably getting game from training. That's the only way Burks get played. I don't see any other way Burke gets played. It must be training. He probably buzz around in training. And coaches like to see effort. And I'm sure he's putting, because he plays that way, right? He's 100 miles an hour every single minute. He doesn't take a play off. Here's the thing.
But who takes a play off? Bailey plays 100 miles a minute.
No, I'm talking training.
Plays 100.
No, training.
They're training hard.
Not everybody does it in training, though. Not everybody does it in training.
The only player who I would say I don't think is like going busting their gut in training would be Antonio. He's like, yeah, I got this.
Antonio can't afford to bust the same training because he may pull up.
Yes, I think he's overcompensating for those hamstrings and hoping that they take him through to the final. Look,
Edgar Nera says DJ doesn't seem to be pleased coming off the bench. Even the press conference, he seemed a bit tight, subdued. I agree. He didn't look happy in the press conference at all. No, he didn't look like he wants to be there.
No, he didn't. And some of his answers suggested that. But here's the thing. I think DJ carry belly from Paul Hall time when he scored the goal in the World Cup qualifiers and then was sat on the bench in Kingston while we were knocked out and wasn't given a chance there. Now, since that time, he's then become a bench player because DJ used to be a starter.
So here's my view on that. When a new coach comes in, the coach is agnostic as to who play. He doesn't care. He's going to pick player based on what he knows of them and what he sees in performance. Not every manager, some players are not their cup of tea. And it looks like he doesn't see DJ in his starting lineup. That seemed very obvious.
Yes.
Right? Just like he looked at Whisper and said, you know what? This kid needs to be here because he has the quality I'm looking for. Someone Live 2 Radio is saying, do not be surprised if Burke keeps making the team over Boza. I think Boza has struggled. I like Boza's game, don't get me wrong, but I think Boza has struggled. And sometimes players struggle because they're not happy, right? They want to play more, they want to start, they're not starting. And it's reflected in how they comport themselves on the field. Boza has struggled. He missed quite easy chances when he was in Austria. In this game today, he had a chance to put some goals away, and he's not at the races.
So here's the thing. I think the Argentina game and another game, I can't remember the game, but I think Boza likes playing with Mikel Antonio. And I think that's what we used in the Argentina game, right? Mm-hmm. Because Mikel Antonio makes him look good. So all he has to do is win the ball and then lay it off to Antonio. He doesn't have to be thinking about making a turning and facing goal and getting a shot off because he knows Antonio is there, right? The combination of Burke and Mickelson, you and I sat in a stadium for 3 straight games in Orlando and saw that combination does not work. It doesn't work. They don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
They don't complement each other. The twin tower thing that we are thinking of, one is running around, and the other is basically trying to muscle his way. So it really doesn't work.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, there's levels to this game, right? And even though they're good players, when you step up a level, you can see the deficiencies in certain players' game. And I think for Burke, for example, I can see why coaches would like Burke. Hard-working, run hard, press. But at some point, as the levels tick up, hard work is not sufficient. You need more. You need a technical capability to be a differentiator. I don't get that from Burke. So I'm thinking about his game. What does he do well? Does he have great control? Does he move the space well? Can he find a pass? Can he get behind a player? Is his hold up play brilliant? And what I see from him is hard work and speed. And that's challenging when you're playing out wide, where you need some trickery to get by a man. You can play a 1-2. You need brilliant control to get the ball down to be able to make decisions. I don't see that. So I think it's going to be a challenge for Burke going forward. If what I'm hearing is right about the talent level that we're recruiting, bringing to the team, I think players like Burke will be challenged to stay in the squad as we source more talent that are differentiating talent. It's going to be tough.
So the Mexican mafia is out in full numbers. The stadium has filled up nicely. Ochoa is in the goal. Experienced player with many caps, and the North California Mexicans are in there in number.
I think the bad thing is that Boza is playing his way. Like if I was a coach, to be frank, and I'm looking at the team and the performance to date and all the players, it would be unfair not to give Whisper more opportunities and keep on giving Burke and Nicholson opportunities, right? Because Whisper to me seems like a differentiator, and Burke and Nicholson haven't shown their differentiators. And I use that word a lot, which is to separate players in terms of, are you making a decision? Who do I think can come on in a difficult game and produce a goal, an unforeseen goal or something, out of nothing? And I think Whisper has the skill level, the talent, the speed, the shot to do so. Even though he's a little bit naive defensively, he has a lot of attributes that compensate for those deficiencies.
So I want to say this, and this is going to be controversial.
Don't be controversial then. If you ever say don't be controversial, why be controversial?
Huh? And I am going to be controversial with this. I think Trevante Stewart is sitting in Jamaica wondering, am I hard done by?
Wow, look at Chris Smith comment. So we comment on yours and then comment on Chris Smith comments.
Okay.
I watched Stewart play in the JPL. I think the kid has some qualities, I must admit, regardless of the competition. I think he scored a couple of goals where something out of nothing, right? One goal he scored, I think, was semifinal final, where he chipped the ball to the left of the keeper. You have to be a footballer to be able to do that. No matter who you're playing against, it shows composure in difficult situations, shows creativity. He's quick, he's skillful, he can shoot. He should be given a chance versus some of the players we even have in the squad now. Now, Chris Smith commented about we need to replace Lowe, Corey Burke, Boza, Paris, Dwight, bring in Dwight McNeil, Ellie Sims, Mason Holgate, Louis Baker Nelson. Those are interesting. That was an interesting point, actually.
But I'm saying that even before the naturalization process, I don't think you're replacing Lowe. I think Damian Lowe gave some head of state performances. Yes. And he's a starter, right?
Yes.
And Andre Blake is a starter. That's not going to change with the recruitment that we're doing. Right?
I don't think Holgate should start up a Low, actually.
No, can't.
No.
Because Holgate can't start for his club. But what
but even so, I don't think he plays better than what I've seen of Lowe and Holgate. And Holgate has struggled sometimes. I think Lowe, right now, I pick Lowe over Holgate.
No, they're better central defenders than Holgate coming, right? But even then, I believe that Damian Lowe, when called upon and when we call him out, he has been outstanding this tournament.
He has played really well. And he has controlled himself after getting a yellow card in both games. Yes. He hasn't gotten a red, which is good.
So I can't agree with Chris Smith. Yeah, ultra, I respect the eye, but I can't agree with that one day.
But we pick up one thing because Chris says Corey Burke, Paris, and Lowe. I would think Lowe stays. I would think Burke and Paris are under pressure. And both are under pressure.
But I don't even
And,
think
and
they
by the way, I've always played Dwight McNeil. To me, we need to get Dwight McNeil. I love Dwight McNeil when he played for Burnley. That's why Sam what's his name took him back. Dyche took him back. The kid runs all game, and his crossing is impeccable. He's a very good footballer.
Impeccable.
Yeah.
Impeccable cross.
Yeah.
But the thing of the people why he's overlooked and even overlooked for England is that they keep saying he's just a basic footballer. But he does the basic things well, consistently. Dwight McNeil doesn't have a bad game.
Yeah, he can play the 8. Even though he's a winger naturally, he can play the 8. And in fact, I would use him in the 8 spot.
Wow.
I would use him as an 8. I'm telling you, he's an 8. I would use him as an 8. Yeah, he's an 8.
That's different.
Well,
that came out of nowhere.
Cataract. He's an 8. In Jamaica team, he's an 8. We don't have an 8. We don't have a differentiating 8. He's an 8 to me.
Dwight McNeil, for me, here's the thing. If Dwight McNeil coming in his squad, Demarai Gray will cry. Because the same thing's going to happen that what happened at Everton. The coach is going to see a player who connects the dots. And I'm watching the Mexico game. It has kicked off. First 15 seconds, Qatar has the ball and just turn it over, right? But there's a reason why Sean Dyche, and maybe it has to do with the fact that he knows him from Burnley and he knows what he can do and he's confident in what he can do. But I think Demarai Gray, the international player, is a cut above Demarai Gray, the Everton player. And he's not playing against chumps. In the United States were not chumps. They were not chumps. Right?
The difference between Gray and McNeil is work rate. McNeil has an engine that doesn't stop. There's a difference in the work rate. McNeil runs 24/7. He doesn't stop running. He puts in a shift. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't lose the ball. I'm using my own colloquial term, willy-nilly. He's a safe pair of hands.
Safe pair of hands.
Get the ball in the box. He fits the Sam Dyche's
mold
profile of a player. And that's the profile of the player he likes.
No, but let me tell you what the profile is. He fits the profile for Jamaica because Sean Dyche likes him because Burnley was a counter-attacking team. They give the opponents a wonderful save by the Qatari goalkeeper to save a cross that was coming in.
So now, wait, 1 second. Chris said, look good in the system. I want to put up a comment by Owen. Owen says this.
Okay.
So Owen says, I saw, no, wait 1 second. I'm trying to pull up a comment that he has.
Go ahead.
So here's a comment. Ian Campbell says, not even Caldwell can take Lowe's game currently. I'm going to manage that comment. No.
I think that's, let me tell you something. I do know some people who do know Levi Caldwell, right? Or I do know someone, and you don't have to guess who that person is, right?
Okay.
Because he's in around Chelsea. He's coaching the under-8s. The hesitation for Levi Caldwell to come to Jamaica, part of it, yes, he's in England's under-21 squad, but he sits on the bench there, right?
No, he starts.
No.
Cataract.
Hold on. I'm
not asking you. I'm not asking you.
You're asking me?
No, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Keep going.
I'm going to look up the
Portugal
game.
today and he played the whole game. Keep going.
When you pause, I'm going to tell you. But he does not see that he can dislodge Ethan Pinnock out of that left-sided central defense.
He doesn't have to play left side. He can play right. He doesn't play left side. Right? He doesn't play left. People keep pigeonholing people in today's football. That's why Havertz was bought by Arsenal to go play the 8. Even though he's never really played the 8. Coaches who are inventive and see players in different situations. If you can play football nowadays, and it takes effort to play a certain position, they're trying to coach the effort into you. put it into you so you can go play that position. Colwell Brighton is desperate to have Colwell. Chelsea
Brighton is
saying, no, you
desperate.
can't have him. Not even with Kaiser trying to buy Kaiser. There's a reason for that. He's a very good player. And by the way, he's comfortable with the ball at his feet.
$30 million. 30 million pounds was what Brighton bid. And it was rejected out of hand.
Yes.
But here's the thing. I'm just telling you what he said to me. He doesn't think that he would be able to dislodge Ethan Pinnock.
What have to do with the slice of bread? He can't dislodge none of the English centre backs right now.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
What are you going to dislodge Stone? He can't dislodge Maguire, who gets no game at Man U.
I think ultimately he will dislodge.
Then you
Maguire.
have Gooey coming in. You have a bunch of players. You have Gooey coming in. You have a bunch of different players. Now Cowell is highly rated by Chelsea and by Brighton, but doesn't mean
he's highly rated by everyone who sees him play.
Yeah. But and by the way, before you go further, Southgate brought him into the squad to make him know that, you know what, I'm thinking about you, so don't go to Jamaica. That's the way I view it.
Right. You're correct. You're 100% correct. You're spot on. Right? But here's the thing. Countries around the world struggle to find a left-footed centre-back. They are rare. A rare commodity. And Jamaica has one in Ethan Pinnock and has 2 generations of left-footed centre-backs. There's one called Lloyd Kelly.
Yeah, he played for Bournemouth, right? Okay.
Yeah, captain of Bournemouth, who is as good in terms of his as experienced a centre back as Pinnock. I wouldn't say he's as good as, but he's experienced centre back, left-footed, plays the role assuredly, and he's like in his the past 25, and then you have Colwell, who is 20, right?
Yeah.
So that's 3 generations of left-footed centre backs. We're good. I
don't think Colwell is coming to us, though. I don't think he's coming to us.
No, I think it's a longer shot. But I'm saying if I think we're more likely to get Lloyd Kelly, even though he's a difficult situation. He was adopted, so to find his birth mother and father, who he knows are Jamaican, but to find them and then get the paperwork might be a little bit tricky. But I think that we are good. But focus back here. What I wanted to say to you is, when it comes to Kaheem Paris and Burke, I don't think the people who are going to yam them food are in England. I believe that Ronaldo CFS is going to come into the equation on the wing for Paris, and I also believe that the Trevante Stewart has to be in squads now. When you're looking at a 4th striker where Corey Burke is concerned, the kind of player that runs around. Because Colin Anderson could be saying the same thing from Cavalier. I can run around too. Do the headless chicken thing.
But here's the thing. Both Stewart and Anderson have to get contracts outside of Jamaica. There are very few national teams that have players that proliferate the international scene where local players get opportunities. Think about Brazil. Think about Argentina. Think about any team that is a good team in the world, which have a lot of overseas-based players. The point is that if you don't get a contract, it suggests that you're not playing well enough to get a contract. So then how can you get into a team over someone who has demonstrated that they are good enough to leave the league, the local league, and play overseas, right? So the question is it their ability or is it something else why they can't get contracts? Sifa's got a contract overseas. Where is he? Macedonia? So the players have to work with their agents to get opportunities outside the US in a decent league to then show that they can step up in quality. Because you play against, it's all about the level of competition you're against that may differentiate you. Bless up Rockford. So someone's asking the question,
Yes.
about Liam Moore. What's the story with Liam Moore, and is he out of the
Injured.
team now?
He's injured. He's injured.
No. They're talking about given the influx of talent at centre back, Bernard. We have Lowe. We have Pinnock. We have Oldgate maybe coming. Where does Liam Moore fit into that whole equation?
When he comes back, we see what he's like. He hasn't played all season. When he came back, he played a few minutes or a part of a half, and then broke down again. So I don't know. That's the honest answer. I don't know what Liam Moore will come back, because those are major injuries, bro. Major injuries. I wish him well, and then we don't know what the contractual situation is at Reading. Really, I don't think because he was in the last year of his contract.
Right.
So I don't know. There's some Jamaican players who injuries. Kevin Stewart, I don't know what's his contractual situation, because he's injured.
Kevin is always injured. Some players are just injured prone, like a Smith Rowe that plays for Arsenal. They're always injured for some reason. Or they get better and then they get injured again, and you wonder: is it nutrition? Is it how they work out? Is it just genetics? What is it that
some people are just not built for
their
this?
Potential? Yeah.
Some people are just not built for this.
Yeah, that's true. That seems to be the case with some players.
Nathan Ferguson.
So Chris Smith, I have a question for you, Chris Smith. Do you rate Lowe? Because I'm garnering from your comments that you may not be the biggest Lowe fan. I think when I've watched Lowe play for a long time now, I'm surprised Lowe hasn't played at a higher level, actually. I know he's played in the MLS. I know he's played in Egypt and played different places. And he said he has gotten opportunities overseas, but they weren't financially what he was looking for. Maybe he inferred that it may be at the championship level. And because sometimes you play in other leagues where you're making good money, you don't want to sacrifice that money just to go to another higher level. But I think Lowe has played well. I mean, we all are perturbed sometimes about his composure, a lack thereof in certain situations, and sometimes he gets yellow card or even red card. When if he showed more composure and a little more latitude, that would not happen. But I think he's played well. I'm not a Lowe basher, actually. Try not to bash, period. But I do think Lowe is underrated. I watched Lowe play a lot. And the more I watch him play, sometimes he's overly aggressive. And sometimes he can make the midfielder or the defender make the tackle and he makes it. But because he has confidence in his athleticism, his ability to read the game and to make the play. And sometimes he covers up for like a Mariappa, for example, whose legs may be, I wouldn't say gone or going, but I mean, he's not what he used to be, frankly. He's been a great servant for the country. He's played like 12 years now for us. But I do think you don't see Mariappa in the plays a lot of time, whether it's with Lowe or Bernard. So does say a lot for those two and able to cover where he may not be there sometime. So Rockford, we don't know who we're playing next. We don't know. Guadeloupe, Guatemala, and or Canada. We have no idea. The next zone needs to work itself out. Canada has 2 points from 2 games. They have 2 draws, and Guatemala and Guadeloupe has 4 points. Guatemala needs to play Guadeloupe. I think one of those is going to cancel each other out. And Canada may go through if they beat Cuba. I said when they beat Cuba, frankly. So, and then we'll figure out who wins the zone. Because if Guatemala and our Guadeloupe win, they'll win the zone over Canada. So we would end up playing either Guatemala or Guadeloupe if one of those win the game. If it draws, then it goes back to some kind of tiebreaker. So not sure yet.
But what we know is that the Reggae Boyz has qualified. And we, along with the United States, we are the first qualifiers into the knockout round and qualified comfortably. And so congratulations to the 22-man squad. Also to Ethan Pinnock in Think. You're part of the squad even though you're not here, but you're in the squad in spirit. And then I want to jump quickly now in our review. Coach
before you go, one thing. Someone asked the question about Pinnock. We don't know yet. There's a view he may join the squad later, but we don't have clarity on that.
And if him joining the squad is likely to be in the semi-final round at least, because the even if he came here, he would have to train and acclimatize. And remember, he is out of season and hasn't played competitive football in a while. So if he comes, I think he would take a while to acclimatize. But he is the man multi. He is Rupert. So yeah. So Stan, I wanted to engage you on the coach. It's the end of the group stage. The coach can now broadly say he has never lost a competitive game for Jamaica.
It's still a small sample size.
So what do I mean by that? Competitive games.
No, I understand, but I'm saying still a small sample size because he's played. So what the coach is saying, disqualify friendlies because I don't count friendlies. I only count competitive games. That also affects my ranking, right? So we understand that. He's drawn with Mexico in Mexico. He's drawn with the US in the US. He beat the Trinidad team that beat him in Jamaica and beat them convincingly. But the coach is saying, when I have my full team, that's how you should judge me. Don't judge me when I have a squad that doesn't reflect what my team would be comprised of when I'm in a competitive environment. So I think the judge is still out on the coach, frankly.
Anthony Grant is still out on the coach. And the jury is out on the coach.
No, the judge. We can't judge him. The judge is out.
Anthony Grant, didn't you?
The judge is out because we can't judge him. We can't judge him. It's not the jury. The jury's making the final decision. I can't even judge him yet. Must go to the jury. The judge is not sending anything to the jury yet because we're not there yet. But yeah, normally the comment is the jury is out. Now I think the judge is out because we can't judge him because we don't have enough information to inform our view about how we should judge him.
So there have been a few shaky moments, but he has navigated out of the group stage. But he won't be the first Jamaican coach to do that. Coach Tapper has done that twice at least. Winifred Schaefer did that, so it's nothing new. René Simoes did that back in the 90s, so it's not a new phenomenon. But the manner of us exiting the group into the group stage, I would say, is at a pretty different level. Unbeaten. Mexico almost scores against Qatar. They're in the 16th minute, still 0-0. Those who can't see, Mexico versus Qatar in Santa Clara. Barsham, the goalkeeper, making a save from a free kick. He's fouled. Yes. It's the comfortableness with which we qualified that's been different. Because when we were in Orlando, Stan, you would remember that we were given a run for our money. And did we lose the last game?
To Costa Rica, like that? I think Costa Rica.
The Ticos. Yeah. Right.
An old team, by the way. A very aged team.
An aged team.
And they're further age gift. They made it work up more than, and we didn't. But they produce when it counts.
Right. But what I'm saying is that we were comfortable in qualifying. Performances, if not the greatest performances, they were assured.
It was a tougher zone than strangely enough, it was tougher because we played who? We played Suriname and Curacao, right? Were the two teams?
Yeah. No, it was Suriname and Guadeloupe.
It was Guadeloupe? Okay. But they were better. Yeah, I think they were better than Trinidad and St. Kitts, actually.
Yeah, but it's the same type of group. Those are two Caribbean teams.
Yes.
It's the same makeup of the group. Two CFU teams, a Central American team, and us. Well, in case we had a kingpin. We didn't have a kingpin in that group, Mexico or the US. So we had a tougher group at the top half of it, but we scored more goals than we've scored in any.
No, I think Guadeloupe and Suriname were more competitive than Trinidad and St. Kitts.
They certainly were. I have to give you that.
I think one game we won 2-1. It was tougher games. I watched those games. Games.
We were never running away at the counter.
Yeah.
They were always in the game. If you remember the Suriname game when we first met in person, Amari Bell had a torrid time with the
Yes.
right winger from Suriname.
Yes.
You know, he
I
was
think he
taken to
plays in the Dutch
school.
league. Yes. Yeah. No, it
Yes,
was.
yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
And he was taken to school. But he has grown as a player. You know, but that was no easy competition for us. But was it because of the coaching and the selection of players why we didn't perform well? Or
No, remember we played the US, We played the US when we progressed out of the group. And we had a chance where Bobby, you remember Bobby Reed missed that sitter? He missed like an open goal, didn't he, in that game against the US?
but that would have made it 1-1.
No, I think it was the goal to score to make it 1-0, if I'm
No, but
mistaken.
what I'm saying is the
You
game
can
would have ended
correct me.
1-1. The game would have ended 1-1 based on US
No,
scoring.
but when you score, it's a different game, right? It could have been different. When you score first, then the other team has to chase you. So it could have been different. But he had a clear cut chance to score.
Yeah.
And he didn't take it. And
Yeah.
just like how Beatty had a chance to score with the rebound. I don't even count the penalty, with the
I
rebound.
don't call the penalties. It's the rebound that's
still
criminal.
trying to get my head around how he missed the rebound.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think I'm giving Coach Hallgrimson the passing grade for his team selection and for how he has managed his squad. There have been injuries. There have been him being able to rest Amari Bell for the entire Trinidad game to bring him into the St. Kitts game, and manage the aging Kamar Lawrence at left back is astute.
So what score out of 10 you giving him? What score out of 10?
I would have to say solid 7.5, could go to 8 for me. Probably 8. 8 out of 10. I give the coach 8 out of 10.
So I'm a different judge.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear you, and then I'll tell you my reason. What's your score, and then give your rationale. I'll give my rationale after you.
I give him a 6. And it's a lucky 6. And one could say, what do you mean you give him a 6? So I'm playing against teams. I know you do that. So when you hear the reasons, maybe you'll appreciate the logic behind what I'm saying. So I'm gonna reverse the discussion. Think about the games we play, right? So we have a really good squad. We have about 4.5 Premier League players in our team. I say 4.5 because Amar Bell is not there yet, but he's gonna be there next year. And we have another one on the way, but he's not there, so we can't count him. We played St. Kitts, which are not a good team. We played Trinidad, they're not a good team. The one game the coach had to impress was the US. And here's what is a problem for me. The one game Trinidad didn't need to impress Trinidad. Put anybody on the field would beat Trinidad, same with St. Kitts. The US game, here's where the coach dropped the ball. You're playing against the US who's dominating possession. You're in the 88th minute of the game where you need real creative, deductive, strategic game management. And you make like-for-like changes, and you make offensive changing when you're protecting a 1-goal lead. That is heresy to me when you think about sports and football. I don't see any coach at any level who's protecting a 1-goal lead who's going to change Antonio for a Burke or a Nicholson, for example. That doesn't happen. What they do is they clog the middle of the field, especially when you get pressure. So you're saying my gut, my belly, I have to lock that up because the ball has to come in to score. I'm not going to put an offensive player like Burke on who can't even hold the ball up, who has no skill to create opportunities, who is only going to run hard, and you can't press the US because you can't reach them. No matter how you press them, you can't get close to them. So you then have to lock shop. He didn't lock shop. In fact, he opened shop and allowed him to come back and score. That was a one time during this whole tournament. He had a chance to be a differentiator. It didn't materialize. I can't give you 7 and 8 when you have the one team you're playing against. You have a chance to beat them when the zone. Frankly, you know the other team are not at your level. And that thought process, because it's pressure time. When in the 88th minute, you start thinking through what do I do here, there, what scenario analysis. I didn't see that under fire, calm, thoughtful, strategic, deductive assessment and decision making, which I require as a differentiator as a coach to allow me then to get a positive outcome versus what transpired. I didn't see that. And someone is saying, first God is saying, Kronke, coach doesn't allow to make mistakes. It's not. What do you call a mistake? It's not like you make a mistake. It's what you didn't do. It's like he didn't show up the defense. Cataract, you still there? You fell asleep. I think Cataract has frozen.
I'm not frozen. I'm listening to you wax on lyrically.
So, Cataract, tell me my reasoning is off base here. It's the one time in the whole tournament he had a chance to show what he's made of, and it didn't materialize. It didn't materialize, Cataract.
You know what happened?
Cataract in a tournament, you get one chance. It's like Guardiola against Real Madrid when he put Fernandinho at right back playing against what's his name? And you're like, what are you drinking, Guardiola? What are you doing? You're gonna put a midfielder who can't run to play against a person who's skillful and quick. It cost them the game. And to me, Guardiola and Arteta too. I talk about Arteta is poor in those situations. Those are differentiating decisions that differentiate coach, and he didn't differentiate himself. So I give him a 6.
There's one thing that I can count on you for.
Yes.
No matter how many times I'm forced to say I agree with Stan Kronke, he's making sense. You will say something. Oh my word!
But Cataract, go back to the game.
So let me.
When you made those changes, Cataract, the changes he made were poor. They're beyond poor. They were Cataract. That's why JT said to him,
"Are you gonna keep talking?"
No. Let me finish. It's like JT. See, we can change you all over the place, Coach. That's what he said that to him. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
JT Bright. Anyway, I will not use this forum to deal with matters. Let me say something, Stan. We were playing the Kings of CONCACAF, recently crowned. FIFA doesn't recognize A team and B team. We held them at a 1-0 lead. Qatar scores against the mighty Mexico in the 26th minute. A powering header goes past Osana. The Qatari fans in their burgundy are losing their collective minds, and the Mexicans are saying, what just happened? Madre de Dios. ¿Qué pasa?
Game is 90 minutes plus extra time. Game is 90 minutes plus extra time. That's all I'll say.
Well, this is the 26th minute, and they scored.
So
he's onside, and the goal is not going to be called back. Whoa. He ghosted in a pinpoint header. Boza, look and learn. Pandawaya. This is what you should be doing as our big number 9.
Oh, so that's Michael Gordon saying Kronke present. Let's agree to disagree. A 7 for the coach. Okay, fair enough.
No. So I'm just admiring this goal. Powerfully header that Osana dived correctly, but the header was so powerful. So the Qatari fans, even though they're outnumbered, they are in rapture. Pretty much how we felt at Soldier Field when Damian Lowe powered his header past Matt Turner. But let me say this. We were playing the Kings of CONCACAF, recently crowned, feeling them icy, up there. And we brought them down to earth. But for 2 minutes of regulation time, we had the perennial rival in our grasp. I can't see anything. Let me tell you this. The coach, and we do this, there were several players who were indicating that they couldn't go on. and that affected the coach and his changes. But the only change that I would say that I cannot agree with is that I don't see how you bring on Corey Burke ahead of Boza when Boza is and has been a starting forward for you. And seeing Corey Burke's performance against Jordan leading the line. But
So
that's the
yeah,
one I question. That's the one I question. But the timing of the change, it really became a matter of our players just going to start going down like flies because people were really, really, and Bailey, I think, should have come off when the opportunity was there.
but
Because,
that was my point. I get the rock. You guys don't hear my point now. My point is not about him making changes. My
wonderful
point is,
save by the Qatari keeper, Bashram.
yeah, my
He's
point is
kept them ahead.
around.
Yes,
My
go
point
ahead.
is around who you put on the field. You know what? You know what we do in and I always refer back to my club team. We put on Holding to clog up the middle. And you know Holding can't even move. You clog up the middle, get the rock. You clog the
Rabo.
middle.
Does he play
Yeah.
football?
Well, it doesn't matter. We put him on when we up in the 80th minute. That's what coaches do nowadays. They put on a defender or a central midfielder with defensive capabilities to clog the middle of the field to lock in that lead, and then we put a more speedy forward up front, so the defense they get complacent to go by them. You put on somebody who doesn't have the skill to beat a man or to hold the ball up. You don't do that. That's what we did. So that's why I knocked the coach on that. I just thought even though his changes may have been forced in some instances, the change he made like for like changes, which was warranted.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's what cost us, but I'm saying he made changes that weren't warranted. So
All right.
I didn't agree with those
So,
changes.
uh,
And
I
he
would
hasn't
love
done anything that Whitmore. He hasn't done anything that Whitmore couldn't do in this so far in this tournament. Tapper couldn't
except
do nothing.
except pick the best 23.
Well, maybe that's different. That's different. Yeah, you're right about that. That's a whole different thing. But I'm saying, in talking about playing on the field, if Tapper had this team, he was probably still win
No,
those games that we won.
yes, but I don't think he would win them at the in the same way. But there's a difference with the coach. I find that this coach keeps giving instructions and he is in tune with how the game is going minute by minute. And so he is constantly giving instructions. And where he found there to be a problem was with the Bailey and Damari Gray combination. And he has been constantly talking to those players, calling them over to the sideline every time there's an injury or something. So I think he's more interventionist than Tapper.
So we get another comments, Ketarak about Boza. There's a view that if he doesn't improve, his game is in jeopardy. But we're not bringing in a center. I don't hear any comments about a center forward we're bringing in, right?
Johnson Clark Harris. And God, he knows Johnson. Reggie, I'm just so upset with you because I think I know what issues you have. I'm not going to talk about them on here, but brother, people bent over backwards to accommodate you. You should have been in this squad. You represented Jamaica in what the player's name again?
Where do you go? Saudi Arabia?
Catalonia. He was in the
Catalonia?
Catalonia game.
Sorry, Catalonia. Yeah.
And yes, we got a 6-love drubbing, but you should have done the work. That's a year ago. You could have gotten your Jamaican paperwork. You have all the documents. Everybody, mama, papa, grandfather, grandmother, everybody at Jamaica. So what's the problem, brethren? And people have bent over backwards. People at the consulate have bent over backwards.
Maybe he doesn't want to play.
I don't know. He needs to just tell us what it is.
If you want to play and you have all your paperwork, the people who want to play, they're here.
Yeah,
or they're going through the process. Maybe they just want to play. Because some people, they'll play, but they're not totally convinced. They're not going to make the extra effort, right? And sometimes they make extra effort. Just make the effort. You're not making the effort, so move on.
No, but why do you make the effort to get the paperwork then?
Because at some point you may just be, you know how players are sometimes. They are who they are.
Okay.
They're catered to, and sometimes they just don't go the extra mile they need to go. So If
and
he's gone through the process and he got his paperwork and he got into the embassy and need to go get his date and he doesn't, then he's not that determined to get it done.
but I'm working with the players that are here. I'm sorry I missed this game. It was a real mix-up in terms of where the game was and where you had to fly into, because actually you had to fly into San Jose. And that would have been an 11-minute drive.
Isn't that some small plane to go to San Jose? Isn't that some small twin turbo plane you got to fly to go there?
I don't know, man. They fly from New Jersey to San Jose. They fly from
San Jose. Oh, there is? Okay. Because I flew from San Jose to LA, and the worst flight experience ever, and I'll probably never do it again. Some turbo plane, we have to balance it out, and I don't like to fly on small planes. So.
And the thing is that those planes were filled because of July 4th weekend. Right?
That makes sense.
So that's why I couldn't restructure it back. But man, them are saying, the Ultras are saying, but that the general needs to come to Ohio.
Okay,
so we'll see how that works.
A big airport, so go ahead, say that again, Kedra.
No, I'm saying the Ultras are saying that their top boy, their general, their king needs to come to Ohio. I'm going to see how that works.
Well, Ultras have a king? Isn't that a contradiction? Ultras have king.
Cataract. Put some respect on my name. And the Ultras know that. And they know my powers.
So if I say King Kronke, am I a king? I mean, how does that work? Just say yourself a king, you become a king? How does that
Nobody
work?
calls you a king.
No, because I'm
referred to as a king.
I'm not a narcissist.
I am referred to as King Cataract. I didn't name myself King Cataract. But
you have to be a narcissist to think about yourself as a king.
So I'm not speaking about myself. I'm referring to the title that has been bestowed upon me in the world of Ultras. You relax.
Anyone can be a title of themselves, about themselves. Look here. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I should go and read this. Let me do this to you. No, don't read it, because we have to go. We have to go soon. I have to get up and go to work at 4:30.
I have to go on a date.
We have 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
I have to go on a hot date. So
what's your closing comments?
My closing comment is congratulations to the Reggae Boyz for going through to the knockout stage. Congratulations for scoring the highest number of goals that we've scored in a qualifying round. Let's be more clinical. Let's finish those chances that we make, and let's keep up the clean sheets at the back. So the lads at the back, keep up the clean sheets. Congratulations on the clean sheet. Maps, keep playing the game of hide and seek. Because as long as we keep a clean sheet, we look back to welcome the players that are resting.
I think I've lost Cataract. Have I lost Cataract? I think your Wi-Fi is not working, but I think I've lost you. I hear Lulu's asking you, Cataract. I'm not sure if you can hear us. If Jamaica Region Finals, we're going. I think the finals is out west, isn't it? Isn't it someplace out west? Is it LA or Las Vegas? Someplace out there. I wish they'd bring those games to the East Coast. So we have lost Cataract. So we're gonna.
No, you have lost me.
We didn't hear you for a while, actually.
Yeah, because
which sometimes is good. Which sometimes is good, actually. In fact, quite a lot of times it's good. But anyway, keep going. What are you saying? Can we miss you?
So I'll be at the final. So I am going to read in my 1.5 minutes that I have left of my 2.5 minutes of the 5 minutes.
Yes.
And this is from Neo Sovereign. And I want you to say this. This is after the Chicago game. I thank God I'm home. After a long travel, expecting only a game, I gained friendship, brotherhood, unity, and a renewed sense of a new beginning that was only fledgling towards a great football metamorphosis. We saw a new and vibrant Reggae Boyz army formed and, led by an old, wildly self-acclaimed general who led them with song and cheers from the universally great Robert Nesta Marley.
We lost him again. After he was so much lauding himself and promoting himself, we lost him again. Maybe he cuts him off when he's in the middle of lauding himself. You need to go fix your Wi-Fi. Even the Wi-Fi don't agree with you. Even the Wi-Fi protested by cutting you off. Even the Wi-Fi didn't cut you off with a self-praise. What a wonderful Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi must have some AI in it to recognize Keterak proclaiming himself to be, as Neo self-proclaimed general. Keterak, the Wi-Fi cut you off.
I was there. That saw man leading. Man saw man leading the Reggae Boyz army. You don't even try me, brother. We stood up to 36,000 United States fans. This
Keterak,
ultra.
Keterak, you know the Wi-Fi cut you off, you know. The Wi-Fi cut you off halfway through your speech. The Wi-Fi said, "This is enough. I've heard
my
enough."
The Wi-Fi bad, man. But you heard the general part. You heard the general part, right?
Okay, so
and if we are at the finals, I will be at that finals, and I would expect you to be at that finals as well, because I know it must be something important why you were not at these games.
No, I couldn't make it actually, and I'm actually going on vacation next week for 2 weeks, so it's gonna be tough. But let's see what happens. But let me say this, Keterak.
But the match was on a Sunday, though, dog.
No,
the match was on a weekend, though,
Keterak, you didn't hear me. I'm going on vacation. Starting next week Monday. So I don't think I'll
so you booked the vacation during the Gold Cup. We'll way
before that. Let me say this though.
So
what I heard about your comment was self-proclaimed. That piece which you skipped over is self-proclaimed. It didn't say general. It said self-proclaimed.
He now knows that I am the general. And when there was time to stand up and defend my smaller ultras, I was the man at the front. I didn't back.
Tyrone Williams is saying he met you guys there. Where's Tyrone's comment?
Oh,
Tyrone, I met Keterak and Neo at the US game. Yes.
The respect is coming in. Respect to the man them from 231.
No, he just said he met you. He didn't say anything about respect. He said he met you, Keterak. He said he met you. He didn't say respect. He said he met you.
And
he met you.
He probably addressed me as everyone did, King Keterak. You know,
he would have. Hey, Kronke, I'm saying Keterak. He would have said, "I met Keterak. He was the general. He did a great job." All he said was, "I met him." In fact, he was so forgettable. I'm just gonna say, "I met him and move on." Coach. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta go
too.
Yes. My final comment is this. First, I want to say this. Everyone, before you leave the forum, please hit the like button. And
please do.
Really appreciate you joining us this evening. We really are optimistic about the Reggae Boyz' chances going forward. They've done a brilliant job so far. In a zone we thought we'd have some challenges. We expected to win, but we had some challenges with Trinidad. And the US is always being tough, because as Keterak said, the king of CONCACAF. And we truly want you to come out and support the team. So I'm sure in spirit they can feel even at the game. And if you're at the game, it's even better. And we hope that they continue on this march to try to win us the first Gold Cup in our history. So let's go, Team Jamaica. And thanks again. Please hit the like button as you leave the forum. Last word is yours, Keterak. Last word, not words.
And when we get to this time on this forum, we say it's over. And Kronke and Keterak are out. God bless you. Come on, Mr.
Yeah, man.